Hi.
I never remember what happened.
We're in!
Yay!
Beezaura was just telling us how she knows every
I know.
one of her names. Doesn't even need to look at them once.
So prepped.
No problem.
Everyone's name is just so authentic.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us if you're here. Erland is missing for the first half of today's stream, but he will slot in after the break. We have our first guest. Were you patting his head on top of the...
Yeah, I was patting his head from above. Yeah.
We have a guest that's going to step in at one point, which is exciting. First guest of the stream. And does anybody have any thoughts before... Oh, yeah, she's going to sit next to... She or he? I don't know.
Don't blow it.
I did. I blew it already. Does anybody have any notes before we jump into the recap?
No.
No, let's do the...
Decidedly not.
Beezaura loves a recap.
I love a good recap.
Go slow.
Let's do the last couple recaps.
Yeah.
Start from the first one. And
All right.
list of names and who they are.
That's a good idea.
I do now. I redid my notes. Suck it, John.
Oh, well.
Well, he's not kicking them while he's down. He's not here.
Okay, go.
Maybe you can make me a copy, though.
I'm gonna write down all the times we make fun of John.
Okay. Keep a tally, someone out there in the
Continue,
cyber
Matthew. Sorry.
Got it.
In Chapter 9, Progressing in Disguise, Orba and Graven caught their breath in the kitchens as they waited for the captain of the guard to return with word from Mr. Mullafair. A number of estate guards pushed past us into the cellar, presumably to monitor the Knoll situation, but one of them lingered behind and seemed ready to turn us over to Pulnick before Armand Valliard appeared to magically persuade him otherwise. Armand told us that Beezaura had sent him and offered to escort Orba and Graven to a private space where they could catch up. Before the group could reunite, Beezaura received an unexpected visitor who claimed to be an envoy of Guy Lamar. The Tiefling expressed an interest in finding out some information about Orba, but that her general wariness made it difficult to acquire said information. He was willing to pay Beezaura in Lyswhistle estate chess pieces if she could help, but stressed the importance of not letting Orba catch on to any questioning, lest she be scared away. With an agreement in place, he disappeared, using an invisibility potion. As Erland, Safira, and Beezaura discussed what had just transpired, Armand arrived, and the group was brought together for the first time since leaving for the Mullafair estate. We hatched a plan to escape from the manor unnoticed, but it required the use of Armand's magical expertise, and he would not assist us without a promise from Safira that she would come work for him in Tuktu after our attempt to rescue Jillian. She just remembered that right now.
I've never forgot that.
With seemingly no other choice, Safira agreed, and we took the form of Mullafair guards and guests to vacate the property without incident. Hitching a ride back to Urinchupa, we took some time to consider who our allies were at this point, and who we needed to stay away from. Mid-discussion, our carriage was waylaid by a pack of bandits looking to take advantage of the no-weapons policy at the Mullafair estate. But we leveraged our imposing presence and a skillfully fired arrow to scare them off without inciting violence.
That was crazy.
That was not
We really skipped that one, so I'm
was
big
not.
fight. I'm not gonna lie.
Our travel delay allowed another carriage to catch up en route back to the city, and leaning out the window to greet us was the author, Samuel Precus, who was under the impression that Erland had slipped him a note with an inside joke about their mutual acquaintance, Rugeni Grimari. Not wanting to solve that particular mystery on the side of the road, Erland and Safira hopped into Samuel's carriage and learned that Grimari's old tomes contained a magical page that could be manipulated externally, meaning that the grimoire that we read at the library could have something different written in it by now, creating new uncertainties about the warning we received and who might have placed it there. Re-entering the city walls deep into the night, we mused on what we would prioritize in the morning, but not before Beezaura took a moment to scope out Mr. Otto's house, and Erland borrowed the Dancing Clam basement pass from Graven in an effort to reconnect with Robert Bastille as quickly as possible. With the sound of Safira yelling at the inn's other occupants ringing in our ears, we thought to ourselves, what kind of rescue would we be able to mount on such short notice? Who was pulling the strings on Grimari's enchanted pages? And what kind of warm welcome would Pulnik have in store for us when we saw him next? We find out now on Chapter 10 of A Peek Beneath the Veil. Let me change the music.
And how will I get my piece? That's awesome.
Yes, always on the
Yes,
hours.
that's what matters.
To me,
Sure.
I don't care about the penis book.
I think it was Limp Phallus book.
Well,
Oh,
all the
boy.
same.
Graven is the first to wake in the morning,
Ah,
seemingly an eternity since the sun last touched her face. The muffled din of the downstairs lounge sort of seeping through the floorboards. Graven's a little slow to get up, his healing magic masking any physical evidence of last night's altercation, but sort of a dull throbbing persisting where some of the deeper bite wounds were once located. And the first thing you notice, upon sitting up, is the empty bed across the room. Not fully made, but most certainly undisturbed throughout the night. No trace of Erland immediately apparent to you, including the basement pass that you lent him. You rise.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Whether he got himself into trouble or someone else into trouble. Better go check on him. Get my armor on.
Sure. You take a moment to sort of, all of the armor, you missed it, the feel of the
Yeah.
armor sort of protecting you after the estate. Place everything on.
Bring myself to my full height. Yeah. Go look for that fool. Head downstairs.
Great. Graven opens the door, and in the other room, Orba and Safira rise, and you can kind of hear the door opening next door, rising around the same time. The two of you.
Why are you looking at me like that? What is the first thing in the morning?
Yeah, I was going to say good morning, but
Morning.
you looked like you had too much wine last night, so I
had
didn't.
too much wine last night.
Okay, well,
good morning.
Good morning.
Orba just gets her stuff together, leaving her to gather herself.
Quietly rummaging around, putting things in your backpack.
Yeah, returning all my stuff, and I'll head out, leaving her to.
I'm kind of gonna, when she leaves the room, like get out of bed. I'm gonna put on the pants and the shirt that I got,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of put on the rest of my armor and stuff.
Great. You put the armor over it, and the armor is sort of well fitted to your size and
Yeah.
body, and it sort of cinches some of the loose fitting pants and tunic, so it kind of has this sort of oversized appearance. But
Yeah. So I'm gonna, get back into, try to slap myself awake a little bit.
take a moment, and
And
light
then
peeking through the curtains hits you in the face.
Yeah. And then I think I'm gonna head downstairs to get something to eat.
Sure. So you, about the same time, Graven a little bit ahead of you, you head down into the main lobby of the Dancing Clam, and there's a few people there, sort of rising. It's later in the morning. You guys sort of got the full 8 hours, so it's probably closer to 10:30-ish in the morning that you guys woke. There's a little activity in the room, people eating.
Can Orba go up to the woman at the front counter?
Sure. You see the woman at the counter. She's got her book open.
Excuse me, do you mind if I borrow your quill one more time?
Oh, no, of course.
Thank
And she
you.
hands it out again.
And I take it, grab out a parchment, and go plant myself next to Graven.
Sure. And then she watches you go away, and she sees Safira sort of coming behind you and catches your attention.
Yep.
And she sort of motions you over. Excuse me. The gentleman who stayed in room 14, Bertram Howard, he mentioned that a woman of your description had spent the evening with him and would be returning a copy of his room key. Do you have the key to return?
When he left here, do you know where he was headed?
Oh, he's not a regular guest, so I'm not quite sure. This was his last night that he had booked.
I'm just gonna shout over, Orba! Do you have the key, the room key for Bertram's room?
Oh, yes, I do. And I scoot over and hand it.
My apologies, I was under the impression that you had the key.
Richard gets around.
You hand the key back. She takes it, politely nods.
I'm too hungover to deal with this, so I'm just gonna walk up to the...
She lets you, and she's sort of talking as you're walking away, but, and I do believe I saw your friend come up from the basement with Mr. Bastille very late in the night, not long after you'd retired for the evening.
Right. He came up with Mr. Bastille.
He did, yes.
Of course he did. He came out and he left?
Yes, the two of them left.
Can I hear this?
Sure, yeah, you know, if you're lingering.
Yeah, I'll get up and walk over.
Sure, yeah.
Wait, what time did he leave?
I would say they came up out of the basement perhaps an hour after you retired for the evening.
He never came back. He wasn't in the room this morning.
Oh, brilliant.
He's gone.
Okay.
Did you see which direction they went, perhaps?
And they just left out through the door, I'm not quite sure. I can't imagine Robert has left the city, if that's what you're worried about. I don't know the same about your friend.
Yeah, neither do we. Thank you.
Of course. She goes back to her business.
Erland went into the basement by himself, not chaperoned.
I blame myself, yes. He caught me at a...
Yes.
He caught me at the right time, and I gave him the basement pass without much question.
Oh.
No, he said he had something to ask of Robert, and I foolishly thought he would come back and share his findings, but obviously not. Where would he have gone?
What did he have to ask of Robert?
I have no idea.
Maybe he's out of our hair for good then. And Orba goes back to her business with the paper.
Sure. Sort of sitting down to write. Are you sort of over in the dining area?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
An optimistic view, but...
I don't know about you, but I need something to eat. Can I walk up to the...
Yeah. And the kitchen's fairly active compared to some of the times you've come here in the night, but they're serving sort of basic, and some kind of bacon and eggs and basic breakfast.
Any fruit?
There is, yes.
I'd like some fruit.
What?
Sure, yeah. If you guys want sort of a simple breakfast meal.
Yes.
Yeah, a couple silver?
Yeah, it's even less than that. I think it was like 5 copper or something.
Oh, I gotta convert stuff.
Couple copper. 5 cups.
So,
This is the most important part.
So
I'm working on...
no, 3 silver, sorry.
3 silver.
oh, now I gotta fix
Convertible.
it.
I was
Okay.
thinking of the ale,
So
sorry.
we'll presumably we flag him down and...
Yeah, the kitchen is served. Did you want to talk to him or you just want the food? Yeah.
I
So,
don't want to talk to anyone. I just want the food.
so the 3 of you get your food and it takes a moment, they take it out and
Yes.
some people are coming in and out of the inn, nobody that you recognize off the bat. You guys have a moment here as you're eating.
So if we were really wanting to talk to Pulnik and clear up some stuff, I'm writing an outline. It's very organized and it's detailing every little secret that we may have kept from him, just so he, gets off our back.
I wouldn't call them secrets.
Sure,
I'd-
things that
maybe
we-
details.
Yes, things that we
Omissions,
accidentally
maybe.
left out, like the code for the teleportation circle that they used. You said you watched
The movements,
them.
yes. I
And-
suppose there's no harm in sharing that.
And where we saw the teleportation circle open and we could see what was on the other side.
All right.
We could also offer him information about the underground one at the Omasu festival, because it's possible it has the same symbols. It could be the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you would like to give up to him, but I figured I'd write everything down.
Well, I guess the
That's
only
very
thing I can
kind of
think
you.
of that I'm not sure if we want to share yet, especially with Erland off on his own, is the page from the grimoire.
The warning.
Maybe not the warning, but that we know that somebody's communicating with us.
Sure. Yes.
As you guys are chatting, someone walks by your table wearing a simple cloak draped around his shoulders. And there's sort of and he slips a paper onto the table that you guys are sitting at and quickly...
Can I see his face?
You can't see his face.
Can I?
He quickly starts to walk towards the door and out the door. Do you want to take a
Sir.
quick look at the note? He doesn't respond to you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll look at the note.
Sure. You flip over the note, and it says, "We are accused of burning down Willard's house. Be careful.
That's
with love, Jamie.
Oh my god!
And do we all, can he kind of pass?
If he
there
wants
and
to.
go?
Yeah, Graven has it if you want to show him.
Willard's house?
What is
That's
it?
what the note says. It's from Jamie.
What does it say?
Well, looks like we've been accused of burning down Willard's house.
Well, we kind of did, didn't we?
A bit, yeah.
Bit.
Like burn down all the way? Is it gone now? Or just, make some scorch marks?
I don't know.
Okay.
Jamie. Was Jamie the... No, Bertram was the coward.
Jamie's, that's Erland.
Oh
Jamie
my
Fulcash.
god. Yes.
That's Erland.
Fucking Erland.
Even I remember that.
Well, it looks like he hasn't completely abandoned us.
Okay, I guess I'll put that in part of my outline for Polnick then. That we did not do this.
Well, maybe that's why Polnick was looking for us.
Oh!
There's probably that and a number of other things. I don't think that's the only reason that he came looking for us.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, should we go and clear all of this up, or what are we doing?
Wait, Willard's house is the house with the chest that you burned?
But yeah.
Oh, yeah. That she burned?
Yes,
And-
that one.
Beezaura burned?
The chest? No.
No.
That is not Willard's house.
Which-
Willard's house is Lauren's house.
Oh
Dr-
no!
Oh,
See,
it's
I got confused.
Willard and
with all
Lauren.
the
Willard
faces.
and
Yeah, yeah, I was.
Our loot.
Oops.
Our loot is gone.
Where you
Regarding-
scared the gentle void
disregarding.
guys out, or
Yep.
got them to leave.
We were
Well,
going
I-
to steal all of her things.
I know. Well,
Well, not to start.
inherit, let's call it.
But where did if her house has burned down? And where is she?
I hope she's
Hopefully
gone.
she's gone. But is it even worth trying to see if we can salvage anything? But because if we go anywhere near it, we're accused of burning it down. We
Yes.
better stay away from it.
But do you know what might have happened? What if somebody triggered the door that had the spell on it that would make it explode?
That's true.
I would like
It
to know
wouldn't have
that.
been the gentle void that would have walked into
No.
their own trap.
I bet that's what happened.
So
All right, if we can stealthily take a look, I think we should go.
Okay. Okay. Are we going to Polnick at some point? Or are we
That's
just
that's
going
not
to
till sundown.
Right, but at this point, do you think it's better if we just
Sooner,
go now?
sooner rather than later.
I mean,
Sundown's when he asked to meet
yeah.
you.
It's not
But
like we're going to just
I'm
waltz around
assuming
town.
that he doesn't expect us to meet him at sundown. We could probably go to meet him at any point. He's
Well-
not. I doubt that he's waiting for us to meet him at sundown.
Dude, I'd like to look at the house. At
Okay.
Evidently the ruins.
Let's go take a look and see what happens.
Okay.
He might be there. Who knows?
Who? Jamie?
No, Polnick.
Okay.
There's too many people. Yes.
I know.
Okay, let's
Ugh.
go.
So you guys finish up your breakfast and you start to make plans to move towards the Rose District where the Droymain house is. And we'll head over to Fable's Repose where Beezaura rises from the comfort of her bed. And you rise to the sound of sort of an impatient knocking at the door. And without waiting for a response from you, you hear a familiar voice shooting through the door.
Checkout time is 10. You're late. And we need the extra barbs available, so hurry up.
And you recognize the voice. It's the woman who shooed you off the bench when you originally checked into Fable's Repose. And you can hear her continuing down the hall and kind of
Gotta check out. Need more.
goes further down the hall. So she's
Yeah.
knocking on all the doors of the people.
Can I pop out real quick?
Sure, yeah.
Mom,
Yep.
I'll get out ASAP. May I bother you just, if I move quickly, by any chance is there a complimentary porridge?
There is not.
You sure?
I am quite sure that Fable's Repose does nothing for free.
Alright.
And she sort of shuffles down the hallway.
I'm gonna start packing up my stuff.
Pack up your
Put on my armor
Got
again.
your armor on, yeah. Sort of take a moment. And as you head out through the hall, a couple of men and women are being sort of ushered into vacant rooms or rooms that are now being left by people. And you hear a good bit of commotion coming from the lobby downstairs. A couple of men and women that are being ushered into the rooms have the kind of a disheveled appearance, sort of brown and black splotches covering simple tunics, and some of them removing like dirty gloves from their hands. and no shoes or boots to be seen on their feet. You can see sort of a line around their ankles where the dirt sort of stops, where it looked like their boot was, so they took it off after sort of being covered in filth. So like a strong tan line or a sunburn. And a couple of them are shuffling around. There's like a good bit of activity here, more than you've seen since you've been here at Fables Repose.
Is there no one at the front desk because she's upstairs, right?
I was talking, people are moving around upstairs. Yeah, so if you want to head down.
Okay, so I'll just stop one of them.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Who are all these people?
Oh, well, we just came from a couple of blocks away. The city's come to an agreement with Fables Repose. Some of the surrounding homes let those of the fire brigade use the baths.
Big fire.
Was there a fire?
There was. The Droymain house burned down.
They know how?
Not that we know yet. But last night we put out the fire and we came back this morning to clear up some of the rubble. It's too dark to do it last night.
Did you find anything?
Find anything?
Was anybody inside?
No bodies as far as we can tell. We're still clearing a lot of the perimeter. Luckily the high stone walls managed to keep the fire from spreading.
I see. Was everyone okay?
Again, nobody of the fire brigade was injured, but can't tell if anyone was inside the house. We're just starting to move the rubble away.
Got it. Well, my room's free now if you want to go in.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. And he sort of heads in. He flags another person. There's two of them, and they head towards the bath area in the room.
I walk downstairs, I guess.
And you start to go downstairs, and you see more of the same sort of gathered in the lobby. 10 or so men and women waiting their turn, head to toe covered in dirt, dust, ash, and soot. And on the far wall near the door is a pile of blackened work boots, and you can see a couple of the employees of Fables Repose like making sure that everybody removes their shoes as they walk in and sort of cleaning up some of the splotches on the floor. And huddled to the side, sort of avoiding the commoners, is the man who was one of the greeters at Fables Repose. He's sort of lifting his robe to make sure that it doesn't touch any of the filth on the floor. And he's sort of, shoes, and he sort of is directing some of the traffic. And another person directing some of the men in and out. It seems like they're working in shifts, that some of them come, they clean up, and some of them they head back and forth. And there's a tall elven woman making sure that the right people come in and come out, and she's sort of pointing and saying, you two, you're coming. And well, that's where we'll introduce our guests. And she stands directing the fire brigade in and out of Fables Repose, and that's when Beezaura comes down. You see this sort of activity taking place.
How's everything going?
We're awfully busy.
I see. You need anything, or
What on earth could this small woman do for me?
Small woman.
What do you think you'd like to do? Do you have a suggestion?
I'm much more skilled than I may lead off. I'm just offering my services since I am full of health and clean.
Alright. Strap on a pair of boots and let's go down.
Go down to the fire scene.
Sure. If you're so eager to help, go for it.
All right, maybe I will.
Really?
Yes, I am.
I'm so. Why are you staying at Fables Repose?
I was actually at the wine tasting last night.
Okay. And you want to volunteer to help?
Sure. Is there a problem?
It's just not something the wealthy usually do.
Maybe I'm not like everybody else.
I fucking like that. Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, fine, yeah.
What's your name?
Jaiwa.
Say it one more time.
Jaiwa.
Jaiwa. Beezaura.
Lovely to meet you.
Are you part of the fire brigade?
I sure am.
You like a leader or something?
You could say something like that, yeah.
You know what happened down there?
God, you ask a lot of fucking questions. Yeah, there was a fire at my friend Lauren Droymain's house, and it is burned to the ground.
and we're determining the cause and if there are bodies.
You didn't find her?
No.
You know where she is at all?
Do you know her?
I've heard of her. I've been talking to a lot of people in the Rose District.
Where are you from, Beezaura?
Out of town. Moved around a lot.
Me too. Where are you from, Beezaura?
You know, couldn't really nail it down at this point.
All over, one might say.
I'm quite a traveler, yes. How about you?
Oh, I'm from, way up north. Way up north.
Sounds
You
like
probably wouldn't have ever been.
Oh. How close were you to her?
Oh, she's a good friend of mine. But, we'll find her. Maybe she was visiting someone or...
She have a family?
She has a husband, yeah.
You find him?
I didn't find anybody.
No cause yet?
I think it was intentional, if that's what you're asking.
Interesting.
What sort of skills did you say you had, Beezaura?
Well, I'm quite the fighter.
Oh, yeah.
I am. Despite my size, I am pretty good. Pretty
Alright.
good with persuasion and, you know, just all around pretty skilled girl, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I freaking like you. I don't know why. All right.
People tend to judge me right away, and then I just start talking, and they kind of fall for it.
Fall for it. An interesting choice of words, but fucking fine.
As you guys are talking, a couple of men who have kind of washed up come up to you and are all cleaned up, ready to head back over.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
2 by 2, go.
Great.
Sure.
And he sort of flags another person. The two of them head out the door, and another two, sort of covered head to toe in filth, come in and start to take off their shoes. And, it's bad over there. Rubble's heavy. It's hard to pick up all the wood. It's come burnt to a crisp. And they sort of start rubbing off. A couple of people head back.
Yes, we sent 2 out. You can go up and clean off.
Excellent. Thank you. And they sort of head up the stairs.
I have a bit of time before I have to be somewhere. Want me to go take a look?
Actually, I have another task, and I don't know if I should ask you, but
Worth a shot?
I think I know who might have done this, and I take pride in running a tight ship with my men and my women, and I don't want to risk them, but you're not from around here, just like me, and wait, can we go into like another room?
You can, yeah. You can also step outside as well.
Let's walk with me, maybe.
Sure.
If you don't mind. So we'll like go.
You heading outdoors?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can head out, and the streets are busy. It's fairly
Yeah,
loud. I mean,
yeah,
you
so
can have a
it's
conversation
safer.
without. Yeah. I mean, you just walk sort of slowly in the direction of the Droy main house, where men and women are coming back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, and I should shout to somebody else to be like, hey,
Yeah.
direct people in, send them out 2 by 2 when they're cleaned off, and then send the other ones in, all right?
Yes, ma'am. We'll
Yes.
do. And he stands there, sort of posted at the door.
Come on, Beezaura, let's go. So, yeah, so we'll like go out onto the street or whatever, and
Yeah. Streets are fairly busy. It's midday. There's a fair bit of noise, carriages moving by, general din of the day.
have you heard anything about the Gentle Void?
Once or twice.
Can you tell me what you've heard?
I'm quite an intimidating bunch. They ask a lot.
They do. Yeah. I think they're involved with Lauren and Willard's house, I think. God, I don't know why I'm showing you this. But I found this brooch, and I think it belongs to Carradine. Doesn't matter, you wouldn't know him, but
Who is he?
he's a member of the Gentle Void, and he's been terrorizing this fucking town and... Anyway, I need to talk to him. And I might get a little angry when I talk to him. And I am perfectly capable of handling it on my own, but I could use backup. And I don't really want to ask my men and women. They're not exactly in line with the law. Might go a little wiggly, you know?
I see.
And I'm not asking you to do anything that would get you in trouble, but if you don't have any family here and you're passing through, then, you know, we could just sort of have a good talk to him. You wouldn't have to know who you were or anything. It would just be if you're a good fighter, I'd help. Whatever you needed, I'd help. Whatever you're...
As Beezaura thinks for a moment, the three of you were heading towards Lauren's house, yes? So you're walking, and they were very slowly walking to sort of have this sort of clandestine conversation. And the three of you can see Beezaura and someone you don't recognize in the distance. You can follow or make an effort to catch up. What do you guys do?
She is quick to make friends. We're nowhere near Lauren's house yet. We don't see
You're a little ways from it, yeah.
Okay.
And again, the fire was last night. Now they're cleaning up the road, so there's no smoke billowing or anything yet.
But we don't see any damage.
No, you're not at the house yet where you can see the damage.
We can see like the back of her head.
Yeah, you can see Beezaura walking
I'm
with
just
someone.
gonna. Oi! Beezaura!
Oh, hello.
Hiya.
Saved by the bell. What can I do? How are you? How was your sleep? How was your rest?
And you guys converge on the road.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Okay.
No.
Well, did you hear about the? Well, I guess you see all the. So, who are these people?
Hi, it's the fire brigade. This is Jaiwa. She is the lead of the fire brigade.
Who are all these people? You have crew.
Yeah, not sure if we'd call ourselves her crew, but yeah, sure.
We're friends.
Traveling companions. Yeah.
Ah.
And you look at this sort of motley group. Goliath, which is extremely rare this far south. A small young tiefling and a half-elf and a halfling.
Yeah, we were gonna check out the fire.
It's an emergency response zone, so we don't need tourists looking.
I'm not sure that we're tourists. We just
They're very good. In my head, I've known them. I met them at the wine tasting, and know a bit about.
You met this crew of people at the wine tasting.
Make a deception check.
What? I wasn't done.
Make that one first, and then lie to your heart's content.
And then continue.
How close am I to her, by the way?
You guys are standing in those sort of small semicircle on the road.
It's a 4.
I mean, you get the sense when she said that she met them at the wine there was a slight bit of hesitation.
Can I
You
reach
get the
sort of under
sense
her dress and just pinch her somewhere really hard?
Yeah.
Damn.
Not necessarily at the wine tasting. Some of them were working, and we started talking, and they're also very good. They're good at
what?
figuring things out, just like I am. It'd be worth it for them to go in and take a look around.
I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I'm Orba. Hi. This is Safira, and that is Graven.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, yes. I'm Jaiwa, and I'm the leader of the fire brigade here. It's nice to meet you.
I'm
Do you mind if you just give us a quick moment?
Fucking yeah.
Can I kind of
Huddle? Circle
not
up?
huddle, but I just kind of want to like indicate to them that
Me
we're gonna
too?
go somewhere else. Yeah, all of us.
You pull, the three of them aside. Jaiwa stands there waiting, sort of impatiently. You can tell she's trying to. She's on the
She
clock.
can't hear us?
She can't hear you. No, if you.
Can I tell you something?
No.
What?
What?
She came by the name of a man in the gentlefolk, Carody.
Yes,
Yes.
we know him. That is who we met at Lauren's house when we were telling them to go away.
I wasn't there. Was I?
You were
I
not
wasn't
there.
You were not
I don't know
there.
who he is.
Yeah,
He's not very
He's
nice.
a piece of
No.
work.
Since the Gentle Void are kind of after me, is it not smart for me to meet with him?
Probably
Is that a
not.
serious question?
But they did request for me to.
Who did?
What?
I don't know.
Somebody
No,
requested you.
don't go meet with some. You're being. No.
Why does
So,
he
she needs backup when she goes to meet. She found his crystal at the site and thinks that it's him that did this to the house. She's not suspecting
She
anyone.
doesn't
wouldn't have
suspect
been
us?
him.
Wait, she doesn't suspect us?
No, she suspects
That's
Carradine.
brilliant.
We got a message from Erland, a secret message, and I think people think that we did it.
A reminder also,
three of
the
us.
Gentle Void is big. Not everybody who's in the Gentle Void would recognize you or have any
Okay.
idea. Yeah, so
Because
the
I was confused because they asked me to do that other thing, and I'm like, so they know who I am, and that I'm still alive, and that I'm still around.
yes, some of the higher ranking people are probably aware of who's wanted and who's not, depending on how.
And the fact that they're asking me,
Some of them, not everyone in the Gentle
Saying
Void
it's
would
not-
recognize you or know
Okay.
that you're wanted.
got it. So I think I'm going to help her out
Help her what?
and go with her to confront them and see what they think
Well,
of
if you
her
go
bringing.
with her, then yeah.
Not everyone knows who.
Sorry,
You see her kind of
I might have made a mistake, so I think I'm just gonna go off. I've got lots to do, lots of men to order, so it was lovely meeting all four new people.
Jaiwa
And
starts to
I'm gonna
move in the
start
direction
to-
of Lauren's
yeah.
house.
We-
Yeah, down the street.
We're on our way to Lauren and Willard's house as well.
You know her?
We met her, yes.
We helped her.
We helped her before she left.
Hopefully.
For
How?
Fine. Well,
She left? Where did she go?
she left. Her husband Willard hadn't returned. He was.
she told us that she was going to head towards Mukmo
All right.
because the Gentle Void
Yes.
Okay.
were out.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yes, speak in
Please.
small sentences for me.
So-
all right?
I wasn't there, so I'm also listening.
Hilarious.
So we helped her husband Willard with a little favor because he messed up. He's doing stuff with the Gentle Void. I don't know if you knew this.
He was in debt with the Gentle Void, and they came to collect. And he was trying, I assume, to avoid that. Left his wife a bit in the lurch.
So we gave this man Carradine a Gentle Void favor that we had came across, and he left her alone for 24 hours. But that 24 hours was supposed to end around now.
And
So-
you've heard of these Gentle Void favors.
Yes.
It's a document with a handprint that sort of signifies that someone's done a favor for them.
Got
so
it.
it's a signifier.
It was supposed to give Lauren enough time for her uncle to come in and get her out of the city safely. We do not know where Willard is.
The last we knew is Willard was in Navikapura, and he was supposed to be back by then, and that was why Lauren was worried.
What I
And we
hope
told her
is
to
that
move on.
We told her to leave without him, so I hope that she wasn't waiting.
I do as well. I didn't find any bodies.
That's good
concerning.
news. Maybe she got away.
How did you know Lauren before? Why would you do this favor for her, or Willard?
Well, we knew her husband. We ran into him, really. And he offers us a pretty penny to collect a bag for him. And looking, I guess, as we do, he thought we were tough enough to go and get it, and we did.
I'd make that bet too.
And
And you're familiar with her husband Willard as well,
Yeah.
who has a reputation for getting himself into trouble, not being a bad person, but getting into trouble.
Yeah, he's always up to tricks. Or
Yes, he's a
Whatever.
little bit
yeah, we
of a
got that
dingus.
impression. But there were, in the house, they were hiding things, hiding something underground for the Gentle Void. Their house was a...
It was basically just a storage facility up front, and the basement had a fancy spell, a glyph of warding, where if you tried to open the door to the basement, there would be an explosion.
When we went to the house to protect Lauren, to get the Gentle Void out of her house, to keep her from being injured so that she could get away, we examined these doors. We presume, I would assume that one of them was set off, which would mean that someone would have to be ignorant or stupid enough or trying to erase evidence in some way to try to open one of these doors, and then was presumably blown into a million pieces.
Are there any theories as to why there was a fire or explosion?
We haven't gotten there yet. It's still too much rubble. It's we're moving it. I've got my men and women down there, but no, we haven't figured that out.
And where were you off to? You were off to the house?
Yes, I met Beezaura, and in a sort of uncharacteristic move, I decided to trust her. So, and I suppose I'll trust you.
It's a good call.
You see Graven laugh at you for saying you trust him.
I no.
Is that a particularly funny joke?
No.
People don't think of me as particularly funny.
You have every reason to trust us, and especially Beezaura, who speaks exactly as she thinks. So.
All right then. Fine, let's go. But maybe we shouldn't go back to the house. Unless you know what you're looking for. Maybe we should just...
Well, what I would do, first of all, now that I'm thinking of it, your men ought to be careful. There were more than one of these glyphs, if I remember correctly.
Yes, there was some kind of pressure plate in the backyard, it seemed. I'm not smart enough to know what it was supposed to do, but the backyard, avoid it.
We have to go now.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
So can we
You
you
guys
gotta run.
let's quickly sort of make your way, and you're passing by. People, some of the fire brigade that's moving back and forth sort of see you guys move by, and they obviously recognize you, and you see some of the worried faces as you kind of quickly are moving towards that. And you turn a street, and you turn another street, and you can see it there. And there's the high walls that you saw
Into the
before.
backyard. Is there a way to
You'd have to climb over the wall, so you're getting up close to it, and you can now. The only thing now visible above the stone walls is a caved-in portion of the house. The second floor is completely collapsed in, and you can see sort of the wood beams burnt and sort of, throughout the rubble throughout the yard. You can't see into it unless you climb up the wall.
Can I climb up the wall?
Sure. Yeah. Make an athletics check. And Safira sort of runs ahead of the group and quickly sort of scales in the back area.
She's very
I could
14.
throw you.
14, yeah. So you sort of scamper up the wall quickly, you get a foothold and push yourself up, and you look over, and it looks like some of the crew has gotten to the shed area where the cellar was, but no one's entered into the backyard yet. Some of the houses collapsed down into that area, and there's a lot of sort of...
So some of the crew are in the cellar area, which reminds
Yeah,
me...
you see people sort of gathering up pieces and chunks of things, putting them in bags
Was
to
there
kind
a
of
door in
clear
the
out
cellar? I don't remember if there was a door.
It was a shed, but now the shed
Right,
is
now the shed's
collapsed.
collapsed,
Yeah,
okay.
the whole thing. So people are picking up, pieces of timber and putting them sort of off to the side, clearing away the rubble as best they can.
Okay, and can I see... Because the shed was where they were holding the stuff. that
Yeah.
they were-
Mhm.
So can I see any of, anything that looks like a barrel that would have been encasing something, or...
In what way? What do you mean?
I would expect that there... I don't know what was down there.
Yeah, so you can't see into the cellar.
Okay.
There's stuff covering it. Beams, tools that have been burnt and collapsed. They haven't cleared enough of it yet to see down into there.
Okay, and I haven't... And then no one's in the backyard around.
There's people close. There's people sort of making their way back from the front to the back, sort of sweeping.
So I'm gonna kind of call out to them. Oi! Not the backyard! There's something... Don't! I can't find my words. It's dangerous to go further than that. Just keep back.
And
Maybe a little more calmly, Safira.
I'm not.
Sure.
Kindly.
Do I climb the wall too?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Make an athletics check.
Great.
You
Which
guys
one
are-
do I use?
That one, yeah,
This
you got it.
Okay.
Give it a good one.
And then add your athletics to it on the front page.
20.
Easy. Yeah.
Total? It was
Yeah.
18?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you sort of take one step and you plant it on kind of a root of a tree and propel yourself up.
Okay.
And now the two of you are there on the wall.
And don't go back there.
And you see the closest man who's sort of clearing some of the rubble, he turns and he sort of pushes a hat up, and you see the face of Steve,
No!
who's a volunteer firefighter, also a member of the militia.
Of course he is. Such a nice
And
guy.
he's clearing some of the stuff, and all right. Oh, and he looks at you for a second. Hi.
You know that, man.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong in the backyard?
Something dangerous, Steve. So if you could maybe stay closer to the house in the front.
Okay.
Yes. Go back to the house.
Okay. And he sort of like motions to another person that's sort of nearby, and the two of them sort of make their way further towards the front of the house.
Orba gets a
picking
little
up things as they
distracted
go.
when she says Steve, and she goes, "Oh, is that Steve? Is that your boy?
Is that your
Is that the
boyfriend?
You know, both of you need to shut it right now.
It's that
And-
Is that your
boyfriend.
boyfriend?
Make a perception check for me as well.
No. Oh no. Oh god. I'm
Not
not
as good as their
perceptive
athletics.
today. Oh, 3.
3. So as he's moving back, you see him turn and look at you briefly, and he kind of has a sad look on his face. And he turns back and moves towards the front of the house. And you know him. Steve's sort of a
Steve is.
clumsy volunteer. He's a nice guy, but
I wouldn't say he was your type, but you know, he's whatever. You know, we all make mistakes with
Never
men,
took
so.
it for each other.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Nothing. Can I kind of try to hop down into the backyard?
Sure, yeah, you can. Make another, make an acrobatics check as you're sort of trying to avoid some of the larger pieces.
Okay. Jesus.
I guess us.
Yeah, are you guys moving to the front?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
come around
move
the front.
through. There's a gate, but the gate it's fallen off its hinges.
Demolished.
It's pretty much gone. And there's probably 5 or 6 people here clearing the rubble, including Steve at this point.
It's just the three of us walking that way.
Through the front, yeah, the two
Yeah.
of them had climbed over the wall.
18.
18, great. So you sort of perch yourself on the top of the wall, and you hear the crunch of the ground beneath you, and some of the wood kind of gives, but you don't hit any of the sort of large beams that are sticking up out of the ground.
Okay. I just kind of want to, like, do like a little visual survey of sort of anywhere I can still see the grass.
Sure, make an investigation check. In the backyard, you mean, not where the shed was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really not doing so hot today.
8. I mean, you can see, as Orba described it to you, they sort of covered the glyph in the backyard with a mound of dirt. And you
Okay.
can see the dirt there. It doesn't seem disturbed. It doesn't seem like it's been triggered, or as far as you can tell.
Okay. And this was the thing that you triggered if you try to open it, yeah?
As far as you could tell, yes.
Okay.
That, to the best of your knowledge, it's triggered by pressing on it, touching it, opening it. You're not sure.
And did the men adequately clear the radius of this?
Yeah, they're back. They're back further behind where the shed was, but now no longer is.
Right. I decide what I want to do.
And you
I
see
wanna clear
Safira
off.
sort of hop down.
I want to clear off the dirt from where the glyph was, so that we see the glyph.
Sure, make a dexterity check.
Have we come around? We
You
come
can
around
see
by
they're
this
in
time?
attack.
Can I
Yeah.
stop
Thank
them? Can I
God.
stop
I'm
them
gonna-
really
I wanna
quickly?
wait.
The two of them?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are sort of crunching through the debris, and you can
Before
yell
we go
out.
in, I checked the time before I left Fable's Repose, and it's about 11 right now.
Sure,
I think.
yeah, something like that.
Are we still meeting to possibly get my contract?
Oh.
Did we forget?
No, we didn't forget. We're just addressing things as they come. You said 24 hours, correct?
Right.
Right, and this is nearby to where we need to be, correct?
Just double checking.
No, we have your back.
I'm gonna be like dealing with my men like
Sure,
up
yeah.
front.
Making sure they clear out
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
like,
area.
no, let's maybe hold off on any
Definitely, yeah.
sort of.
And they don't recognize these, with the exception of Steve, but they respond to you very quickly. I mean, they
Yeah.
know it's an efficient process. They obey your command and they move out. They sort of take some of the bags they have with them and sling them over and move along towards the street area.
22.
22, yeah. So you sort of gently sort of brush some of the dirt away, and you can see the glyph there. It seems exactly as you saw it before.
Can I like
Motion,
call
yeah.
over to her?
You can see her.
Yeah,
Your name, I forgot it.
Jaiwa.
Jaiwa. If your men encounter anything like this, tell them not to touch it. If they lift it up, boom.
All right. Yeah.
This we need to clear. We need to clear a radius
But
around
how
this.
do
No
we
one should step near
deactivate
this.
it?
I don't know. I'm not magically skilled, but you'd have to get someone down here to first of all identify it. Secondly, deactivate it safely. But none of your men should come within a radius of this.
Where? And you said there are others in the basement and anywhere else.
There were.
Well, we didn't investigate fully
Oh, am I here?
all over the house, but
We're out here now?
Yeah, sure. If you guys have made your way over there, yeah. you
There
guys-
were in the shed, and that's possibly what caused
the
this.
shed, one of these glyphs that looked precisely like this was where the shed was, presumably over where they were containing whatever illicit materials the house was holding. And if someone should have tried to access this, someone was stupid enough or uneducated enough or whatever, boom.
And you can't see where the glyph was in the shed. There's too much debris there right now. You'd have to
just
clear a good amount off of it because they had the fire brigade had not cleared that area yet.
Is there like a epicenter? Like where it looks like?
It's hard to tell. It seemed like the house is so blown to smithereens that it collapsed. It's hard to tell if there was sort of a origin point. The grass is sort of
Jaiwa.
charred and dead.
Yeah.
That emblem you found.
It was a brooch, yeah.
Where'd you find it?
It was up towards the front. You know, as you walked in, we were clearing rubble all night, and I, moved a beam sort of towards the front, and there it was. I assumed a calling card.
I was going to say, was there any damage to it? It looked.
I mean, it was.
Will you show my friends?
Yeah.
It has some sort of smudgy dirt and soot,
Yeah.
but it's not damaged. But
It
it's
doesn't
a
look
little.
like it's been in an explosion.
Make a perception check. With advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah, as people are all sort of taking a look
God.
at it.
12.
12, yeah. I mean, it's not dented or bent in any way, so yes, it does not look like it was in an explosion.
Okay.
As I look at it, was he wearing something like that when we saw him yesterday? Like, does it look
You
familiar?
remember, yeah. It doesn't
Okay.
look familiar to you.
Okay.
It must not have been part of the explosion.
It's
That's-
hard to say.
Well,
Right?
I have two theories. Either someone stumbled into one of these glyphs and was an idiot and tried to open it, or this was
Detonated.
on purpose, deliberately, to cover up the evidence here. And that
Seems
was
like
either
it.
left by accident or was left so that people would know who'd done it. I don't know why you do that.
I'm worried that Lauren came back, and Carradine found her.
But if Lauren would have known, she would have known about
We
these.
told
she
her
would have
not
known
to.
better.
She would have known she would not have opened one of these glyphs. She certainly did not cause the detonation. She told us as much, not to go near them.
What I would recommend, I know that the wizard who lived in this town is now deceased. I don't think there's any others, but find the wizard as quickly as you can so that they can deactivate it.
I don't want to have any of my people go in this area while there are potential glyphs that could explode.
Good.
I'm gonna shut this down. Nothing's burning, and I want to pause the investigation, make sure no one comes here. I'll put men to guard it if I have to.
That's a good idea. I can take this approach
Thanks.
back at
I have a question. Are you familiar with Polnick? First Spear Polnick?
Yeah, you could say I was familiar with him. Why?
What's that
What does
mean?
that mean?
Make an insight check, both of you.
I know what it means.
Come on, guys.
Did it.
14.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense that there's some history there. She can choose to tell you or not, but you can already sense from her reaction that she not only knows him, but that they have some history.
Look,
You have a history with him.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. You could say that, yeah.
well,
We have known each other for a long time.
well, I have a.
You still inclined to see him anymore?
You know, when I have to, when I do have to, so yeah.
When you have to, you say. I mean, you want to?
Do you trust him?
Yes, he's a good, kind man.
Right. Well, he is not our biggest fan.
Why?
Genuinely, it's a misunderstanding, and we plan to clear it up with him. But
He's
I think
big on misunderstandings.
Yes,
so.
I have
He
an
doesn't
outline.
know me,
understand.
so
And
we're
Orba holds
clear
up a
on
paper.
that.
You see the
What has-
tiefling produce the sort of parchment that she's been
we
writing.
I'm
we
working on it.
suspect that he thinks that we have something to do with this, and maybe to do with other things.
With
I-
other things.
Well, it's a long story, really.
It looks like it. Maybe you ought to hand me that tome you have.
I'm happy to do it as soon as it's done, but it's not finished.
Oh.
I have a proposal. I'd like to stay here with my friends and possibly investigate. I want to know what was hiding in these caverns. Polnick and his men should come here. They should know what happened. They should be the ones to clear out the rubble. They're probably the most equipped for any danger.
I mean, my men are just as equipped for any danger.
No, I just don't want them to walk onto a landmine.
Sure. Me neither. I don't want Polnick's men to walk onto a landmine.
I don't want anyone to walk onto landmines. He should be fully
We
aware
agree,
of what he's
sure.
walking into. But if we could have a moment to investigate here before you maybe call him, because he should know about this.
Yeah, we'll call Polnick, but yeah, I'll investigate with you. I have no intention of leaving. This is my scene. It's my territory.
Right.
And
Well, the first thing I want to know is what's in that shed.
What shed?
Well, the shed that used to be right there.
Yeah.
Collapsed one.
Yeah.
So where that door was, presumably a staircase, what is there now? Just piles of rubble?
Yeah, broken beams, walls that have collapsed. It's a pile. You would take some time to clear it away.
I don't know if we have time for
Can
this.
thaumaturgy, like...
You know, like,
I don't think-
it would be
that can,
dangerous if you want to, like...
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because
I
we don't want
think...
to destroy anything that's in there.
No, this is a project that will take much too long.
I have another proposal. If we want to know what's in there, then we just go to the source that knows what's in there.
The Gentle Void.
And we force them to tell us.
I doubt that they'll be very.
Then
talkative
we'll
on the
make
matter.
them.
The Gentle Void is a very large
We're
organization.
not gonna go to all of them. We're gonna go to Carradine.
Where's Carradine?
Well, yeah.
I happen to know exactly where he is.
Oh.
Because he wasn't intimidated when two Goliaths told him to get out.
Well, he might be intimidated when I show up.
Okay.
What's your beef with Carradine?
I found his feckin' brooch.
Well, I didn't know if it went back further. I was just asking.
Okay.
He has been roughing up this town. He's one of the main culprits. He's a very shady fellow, to say the least, and I'm tired of it. There's been fires burning all over the city, and I think it all has to do with him and the Gentle
All over the
Void.
city, in what areas?
Good question.
Could have been
Sorry.
Brick Rock, is
Yeah.
usually in the sort of lower rent area.
Yeah.
And do you think he's connected with these fires in Brick Rock?
He is one of the main, cronies. He's got a crew, and he's a big tough,
Why would he be burning some brick?
and I'm tired of it.
Why
Nobody
does the Gentle Void
comes
do
in.
anything?
Well, they have some reason, and I don't much care about it, but I do care about it stopping. And if you all, who seem quite capable, are here to help, I can clear up whatever happens with Polnick. You can trust me. I can handle him.
Well, that sounds lovely. Could we
we-
maybe exchange some favors?
Yes, if we come with you to Carradine,
Happy.
we would love for you to come with us to meet Polnick.
Happy to do
How
that.
far is Carradine from here?
Oh, how far is it?
He lives over, the place that you're
Yeah.
talking about is in Brick Rock, so 30-minute walk.
It's not far.
How,
Do you have another agenda, Beezaura?
she does.
She's a very busy lady.
She's very busy. How?
I just have a few things I need to tend to.
No, I think.
Beezaura is the only one that Polnick is not expecting, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know me.
I think
To this point, he's never met her.
Yeah.
I think it. Well, we're not going to omit anything else when we're
No,
talking.
and we don't want to show up with minus one of us. We already might be showing up minus Erland,
Well,
Who's Erland?
a slippery monk who.
yes, who just.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's not as fun as you think it might be.
It's probably better that he's not here, actually. He sometimes has a slip of the tongue.
Slip of the tongue. Yeah, he has a very dexterous tongue.
Can we stop wasting
Oh,
time
that
talking?
definitely
Yeah.
sounds like
if
fun.
we're going to go,
Enough.
then I'll go. But I can't spend much time because I have other things to do.
Beezaura, I'd be happy to help you if the Polnick thing doesn't seem to enthuse you too much.
Help me how?
Oh, what you need?
You know anything about games?
Orba just starts giggling and walks away.
Do I know about games? No, I
To be blunt about it, since it's just us, yeah, you know anything about chess?
Oh my god.
no, that's definitely not my skill set. Sorry.
Not the chess pieces?
I am no.
You're not familiar with it.
You think Paul Nick
more-
knows?
Wrong tree.
You think
Beezaura.
Paul Nick knows anything about chess?
We could ask him, sure.
No,
He doesn't seem like the type,
We
though.
will not be asking Polnick any silly questions. Absolutely not.
He's not much of a game
He
player.
doesn't seem very much of a game.
Alright, let's
I
go
was
to
the funny
Carradine's place and
In a
Orba's
relationship?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no
Can I
relationship,
see-
Graven.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I see Steve?
You can, yeah. I mean, Jaiwa has told her men and women working there to sort of vacate the premise, but a few of them are standing, sort of waiting for further orders around, and Steve is there with his. He's got like a bag of rubble that he's gathered some things into.
Okay. I'm kind of making a decision about what I want to do.
I just lean over. I just lean over
having
to
like
her.
an agonized.
Make it quick, Safira.
Yeah, I know.
This isn't love connection.
Fuck's sake. I'm gonna. Jaiwa, your man. I'm trying to make sure that he can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Steve.
He's a little.
Yeah.
He's a good man. I may have probably done something a bit unkind. Can you I'm gonna hand her a gold coin.
Sure. Hand Jaiwa a gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you could do me a favor, the next time you see him,
Yeah.
you could give him this. Tell him he's the best worker you've had in a while, or something like that.
Yeah.
Make his head bigger, and I don't know, just tell him to have an ale or something. I'm really not great at this. This is horrible. This is really. Just if you could make him feel like he's a good man. I'm sure he's a good man.
He is a good man, and
Yeah, whatever feels right to you in that moment.
And as you guys are talking, he sort of is shuffling in your direction.
maybe, Steve, hey.
Yeah.
Man, would you watch here, and then I'll send more to replace you. Make sure nobody comes.
You
Alright?
won't
You're on guard here. And I'm gonna put you in charge, alright?
put me in charge.
I am Steve.
All right. Ma'am, could I talk to her for a second?
Absolutely.
And he tips sort of his hat, and he takes Safira slightly aside, sort of out of. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I told Polnick that you were at the estate. I didn't mean to, but I was talking to a friend and he overheard it. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Can I like reach out and take his hand for a
Sure,
second?
yeah, you can. Reach down.
So I'm gonna take his hand and go, look, it's more my fault than it is yours.
The wine taste.
Don't worry about it. I shouldn't have gotten myself into trouble.
Oh, because that's what they were all worried.
Alright. I didn't know about the house. I don't think you burned it down, but Polnick thinks you did.
I know. We're trying to clear that up. Look, I'm sorry about this. You're a lovely man, and my lifestyle, as you can see, is a bit chaotic. But I want you to know, I think you're going to find a lovely woman one day.
But not you, huh?
Well, I'm in and out of town, in and out of trouble. Not sure you'd want it to be me.
Alright. Well, thanks. And again, I'm sorry I told.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean to.
And he sort of nods. And he looks over to Jaiwa and sort of gives you like he's puffing his chest up a little bit, and he starts to sort of direct some of the men and women to come in and out of the area. He stands in there.
There you go, Steve.
I'm gonna kind of walk back.
I'm gonna give you this coin back. I think you need it more than me.
Oh, I really appreciate it, actually.
Yeah.
So we didn't hear that.
You did not hear that conversation.
We saw it, right?
You saw the two of them talking.
So why exactly is Polnick after all of you?
Because he's misunderstood everything, remember?
Well, I think I may have a more
wasn't
concrete
there.
reason, we'll
Yes,
talk
but
about
we
that.
told you last night.
I would like to know.
I'm working on my outline, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, great. We'll give you some time.
Well, should we head
Can you
over?
walk and write at the same time?
Can I walk and write at the same time?
Sure. Make a dexterity
Yeah,
check.
that's what I thought.
Because he thinks I lied to him.
How much are you writing?
He
A lot.
is a law and order guy.
14. Dexterity?
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to, you sort of place in one hand and you're walking and sort of writing as you move along, and you're able to do so without.
I'll walk beside you and watch your footfalls like
Sure.
rock, bump, dip.
Thank you.
You guys are moving. Where are you headed?
So we're going to.
If you know where Carradine is,
I do. We're going to a rather shady part of town
Right.
called in Brick Rack. They refer to as 5XX.
5XX.
Yeah,
Why did they call it such a thing?
it's
The door used to have an address that was like 512 or 513, a number, and it's been scrawled out because no one officially lives there anymore. It's an abandoned address.
Okay.
So now it's called 5XX.
it's a
Brick Rock.
condemned house.
Yep.
Frankly, a fucking fire hazard, if I may be frank. And it's
Why would he be there?
they have gambling and games or whatever. Maybe he's the man to ask about the chess pieces.
And do you,
Intriguing.
this isn't, it's not going to be just him. There's a good chance that he could
No,
have
he'll-
many of his men with
He'll have
him.
men with him, which is why I need us to. But I don't think
There were
you
3
understand.
of us last time.
And
and
there's
he-
5 of us this time. And you've got me. You underestimate
Can
what
we
we're
make
dealing with.
make
I-
a little check of her and kind of see like what do we think she's capable of?
Sure, make it physically or.
I'm just looking at her going. I'm trying to
Throw
make
that
a
rock.
determination
Whoa.
about whether or not she can like screw some shit out.
I mean, she definitely looks like she can physically handle herself. Are you trying to determine whether she's lying about sort of her skill when she tells you
Yeah,
that?
I mean, not really. I'm just kind of gonna. I just kind of want to do a once over and be like, can she, you know?
Okay, make a perception check for that.
Look, lines up and down.
10, not 2, Jesus.
10, yeah. I mean, again, as head of the fire brigade, she's in very good shape. She's strong. She looks like she can physically take care of
She doesn't
herself.
have any weapons.
She
though.
carries a weapon
carries a
around with
weapon?
her. Yeah. She has an
It's-
axe strapped to her back.
I do.
It's not you, I doubt. It's Carradine and his men, and I don't know what they're willing to do.
Well,
And if they feel emboldened by even their company or the place that they're in.
Well, we can scope it out first, shouldn't we?
I say we just go straight to the man.
I'm with you, Beezaura. I like your style.
If you have a few specific questions for him, be my
Orba.
guest.
Like, did he do it? That's probably the most specific
I would.
question.
I'd like
Last
to.
time. You made yourself look maybe a little bit tougher than you are.
Oh. Yes, I could do it again,
Not
but
that you're not tough. I didn't mean. I'm
yes, I'm not small. Everybody keeps saying that I'm small, and I'm not that small.
I'm saying
She's not
everything
small.
wrong today.
You're not
Just-
that small, Orba. I can tell you can handle yourself.
Thank you.
Let's just go as we are.
Yes, I
She's young,
appreciate your
she's not small
concern,
so much
but
as
I
young.
am going as me.
Okay, sure.
I think that you I don't want to put anybody at risk, but you
We
know,
can handle
I need
ourselves.
backup, and they are a tough crew. I wouldn't want to get little Steve involved.
The more we know, the more we can
no.
explain to Polnick.
You know.
Right,
Absolutely.
I'm more frightened of Polnick at this point, so let's go.
All right.
that's hilarious. All right,
What is your I need to know
Wow.
the story.
I don't want to know.
I'm
anything.
very
Maybe
intrigued what
talk
this.
about
Let's
it on
go.
the way.
Yeah, you guys are moving along. She leads you, sort of, you're walking through now in the high streets. You moved out of the Rose District.
The chicken. Watch out for the chicken, Orba.
Oh, thank you.
So
She rides
Jaiwa,
him.
yes.
you seem very fond of Polnick. Never met the man, so I'm not biased. What is your what makes him so great?
He's a good man and a virtuous man and a good fighter, and we spent some time fighting together, and I know him quite well.
You love him.
I do,
Oh, that's convenient.
but it's not it doesn't matter anymore.
Why'd you say that?
These are quite personal questions.
Well, listen,
If we're gonna walk through this
I'm sorry,
crazy
I'm sorry,
town,
too.
I might as well get a good story.
Look, I'm not interested in your relationship with him. I want
Sounds
to know.
like you are.
I think
want
we
to know
are.
if he's a man that we should
God
trust.
damn it.
Well, she's telling us
He
the
is a man
reasons
you
why.
can trust.
If
He's a man I
I'm
trust.
trying to determine his character. I'm not interested in your love life.
If she's...
Not
pretty
to say,
good tell.
You know what I mean.
I'm sorry.
Graven sort of pulls
Yeah, like-
Jaiwa aside and...
It seems as if just any relationship with Polnick at this point will help us, and I forgive the
I'm gonna fucking tell you.
insanely
so you-
personal questions that they're asking.
It's wild, all of you. But I'll tell you right away, he was my ex-husband, alright? So, it's fine. I do love him, but it doesn't matter, and I can tell him to shut the fuck up and stop bothering you guys.
I think we met the right person.
I think we
I
did
did,
too.
and I think I met the right people. I don't know, I'm so amused by you all.
Let's go.
Because
You're
you've been
welcome,
extremely
everyone.
rude
You're
this
welcome.
whole time, but
You're welcome.
come on.
Really not.
You also saved my men from getting blown up,
We
so
might not be the best
Hopefully.
with manners, but.
and nor am I. So we're a good team. Let's go.
You guys
So are we-
continue through, yeah. And you're walking. You've walked sort of through some of the high streets now, and you're just sort of moving into Brickrock. And you pass by right on the sort of border of Songonon and Brickrock. You see Michael Ainsley's healer's hut that you passed by.
Mikhail.
Yes. And you guys sort of walk by, and that's sort of the last landmark you see before you enter into sort of Brickrock proper. And you're further north now than you were when you went into the grotto. That was further south, where you guys sort of went down into the ground. And you pass by, and it's very noticeable very quickly that, you know, the houses are more run down, dilapidated. Some of the people here wearing simple old clothes, rags. And you start to move in, and the houses get more stories higher, and people are sort of crammed into these small. The streets get narrower as you continue through. You have a moment here as before you get to the address, and a few people are eyeing you as you walk by. I mean, you're not wearing fancy things, but you look nicer than the people around you here.
Our armor is like more money than...
Yeah, I mean your
what we've
armor's
seen.
fairly nice, especially
Yeah.
the two of you have chainmail and plate mail. I mean, it's much nicer than anyone around here.
Before we go, should we have some sort of game plan? You can't just go in hot and start yelling at the man.
I think we just follow
That
whatever.
was basically my plan, but if someone has a better one,
Here's the thing about the Gentle Void. You might know better than we do, but I think that it's best to be careful. They might
Bit
be more
strategic.
powerful than you might initially think they are.
Magic users, warriors.
So
I think Carradine is just a neighborhood tough, and he should be dealt with.
I would dispute that. I
Alright.
think that he might be quite a bit more dangerous than he looks. I would say that we might want to lean on the side of thinking everyone's a bit more dangerous than they look when it comes to the Gentle Void. They're a clandestine group.
Do you know something that we should know?
I wish I knew something more about them. I don't. The only thing we know. I suspect. I don't really know. No.
If they're capable
I'm
of...
completely useless.
If they're capable of the devastation that they made on Lauren's house, then they're
Without fully detonating any of their belongings.
with... Maybe. We don't know that, but... they're...
There are just more unknowns than there are knowns in this situation.
I still think the plan is to go in hot, but
I think we should go in, present him with his brooch, and say, ask him straight up in a calm, determined fashion.
okay. So I should warn you, calm and determined are difficult qualities for me.
Difficult but attainable, or difficult but that's not going to happen?
Does he already know who you are?
Yes, everybody knows who I am.
Well then.
I'm the leader of the fire brigade, for fuck's sake. Carradine's not an idiot.
Do you think Graven should present it, and you step out from behind him?
He didn't seem intimidated by me last time. I think she should lead.
Okay.
And
All right,
so,
you seem confident.
Yeah, let's just go in.
Are we getting to the house?
Yeah, I mean, you
We're
know
here.
where it is, and it's probably, you can see it now. And you see some of the addresses on these houses are now scratched out. These houses are not, they don't have official addresses. People don't officially own them. 4XX, 42X, like things have been crossed out, broken down. You can see the house. You're able to identify it.
Allow me for a moment. They're in the basement of this home.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
We're not sure. Well, I mean, we may want to
You
do
just
a
know the
little
address.
recon, but
So can I kind of go over? Can I go around the side of the house? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, the houses are pretty crammed, but you can
Do you want
squeeze
me
your
to
way between the
go?
houses.
Since I'm small.
I just want to see if someone can maybe peek through a window. Just get a head count of how many people are in there.
I can do it.
if you're comfortable, do it. Yeah.
You trying to do this without being noticed? You don't see anybody guarding the house or anything. Are you trying to do this without being noticed? Check out the house.
Yeah.
Sure, make a stealth check.
"20."
20. Yeah. So you head up to the address and you see sort of askew on one side near the porch 5, and it's 2 sort of deep cut X's have been cut into it. So you see the address 5XX, and you make your way sort of around the house. There's a little narrow passage on either side of it, and you peek, and most of the windows are boarded up pretty heavily, but there is a little bit of light coming from the inside, so there does appear to be someone on the inside. You move to one window, it's a little boarded, it's hard to see through the slats, and you move to the next one, and you can peek in, and you can see at least 3 people sitting at a table in that room that you're looking into, just through the slats.
I only see 3.
What do they look like?
And there's 3 humans, all humans.
All human, it looks like.
Are they armed?
Can I make it up?
Make a perception check.
I don't know if you
No.
Well, I don't know.
okay.
He always has everything planned.
Make a perception check.
She just lied.
20.
Yeah.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Next
Great.
round.
So you take a peek in, and they appear to be playing cards at this table. You're able to sort of see it. So they're not holding weapons, but you do manage to see the glint off of a couple of belts. A couple of them have daggers strapped to their belts. And in addition to that, in the far corner of the room, you see some weapons sort of leaned up against the wall. There's a spear, there's one sword leaned up in the corner of the wall. So there are weapons there, they're not currently wielding them.
Just a couple knives in their pockets. They're playing cards. But weapons are on the walls.
Which wall?
Towards the door. Right?
Towards the front door?
Like if you entered through the main door, it would be to your right in that corner.
If we walked in, and we staggered ourselves right to the right, we'd be covering their weapons.
Maybe I could go in and immediately just
Cower.
really grab hold of Carradine.
I like that idea.
And
Grab
then
hold? No, I don't like that idea. I think maybe we take a bit more of a diplomatic approach.
diplomatic.
What if you cut them off from their weapons, from access to their weapons?
That's
and
what
we
I
Well,
was
that's the
thinking.
idea.
Yeah, big man, you go and stand in the corner.
Stand in
block them
front
from
of
their
the
weapons.
weapons.
Okay.
Yes, and then she can get all intimidated.
If you grab him, he's
He
a
may,
knife.
he may wiggle
Yeah.
out.
They
The
have,
table's not right next to the door. You'd have to cover
Yeah.
10-15 feet
Okay.
before you got to the
they
table.
have
in the
small
middle.
knives in their pockets.
Okay,
Nothing crazy.
okay.
Just keep in mind, we don't know if any of them are magic users. So
Yes.
True.
There was one woman who lit the Gentle Void Favor on fire. That's the only one I know who does magic.
No women here.
Yeah, it's 3 men that she can see.
All right, well,
doesn't mean that there's not a magic user.
All right. So I go in last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
okay.
So
Or
are
we
we,
get to
we're
Crystal.
back at the front of the house?
Yeah, I mean, only Beezaura was sort of
Sure.
peeked out and relayed the information,
down.
so you guys are near the front, yeah.
Do you want me to smash down the door really quickly and then?
Love that, yeah.
All right.
Unless it's just
He's
open.
got a crystal.
I'm
Unless it's open.
Let go an arrow.
Should we just
No.
try to see if the door's
No, I'll
open?
kick it in.
I mean,
No,
it is
let's flare.
closed. You can't tell if it's locked, but yeah, it's closed. The front door is closed.
Give him a little fright.
Yeah. Should we rattle on it first?
No.
I'm gonna keep my hand on my sickle. I'm gonna take my bow. I don't
Sure.
wanna
I
be-
like pulled out my axe.
That's a little
Yeah.
All right.
I have a flail.
Yeah.
So I have my hands on it.
Everyone
Weapons
ready?
drawn. So
I'll-
what's the plan here, just so I know?
So I'm gonna like
Can I-
kick the door open and step back as they go in,
Okay,
and
Then
then
you're
and
gonna
then I'll
cover.
go in last and stand by the
great.
weapons.
Is everybody ready?
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
And Graven lifts his leg and make a athletics check for me.
Strong boy. All right.
Don't embarrass us.
Oh, cock. All right, what was the check? Athletics?
Yep.
6.
6. So he gives it a good, and it seems like there was a not strong but weak sort of hooked lock on the door, and the kick, you sort of kick it low on the door, and it doesn't quite give. You see the lock kind of splinter on the edge of the door, and you can hear on the inside kind of a like, someone's here, and you hear like a
Kick it again!
And you go to put,
give it another kick, athletic, with
gonna
advantage
flail
this
it.
time now that it's busted a little bit.
Oh, so 2.
Come on.
22.
22. Great. So
Yeah.
you lean back and you give it another, and push the door bursts open and splinters kind of go flying. And you can see one of the men, given the sort of time he had from the first kick, is able to grab a weapon, but the other 2 haven't quite reached that yet.
Okay.
And so everybody roll initiative right
Oh,
now.
man. So, just roll.
Oh, come on! Can I roll initiative well once in this?
Oh,
God.
you can't be worse than this.
And add, was it a natural 1? Or,
Yeah.
it was a
So, but
natural
still
one.
add your initiative to it.
13.
Hold on, hold
Yeah,
on,
we'll
hold on.
have Orba. Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
4. Jesus.
This is bad.
Why can't we all just talk about this?
Where the hell is... I always lose initiative. Where the hell is
Carrie
it?
didn't
Holy
know
crap.
what
Plus
cat.
0, that's why.
Okay, so 20 to 25. 15 to 19.
Me, 18.
18. Do I have to write down the numbers or am I okay?
Yeah, write down the numbers.
Okay.
Man 1, we'll just identify it as man 1,
Uh-huh.
was 14. Or, sorry, 15 is man 1. There's a 14
Okay.
also.
Nothing else? 10 to 14.
13.
And there was a 14. So there's a 15 and a 14. 14
Right,
is
so
man
man
2.
two.
Yep.
Now that we've rolled initiative, does that mean that there's
you
not
have
a
any
chance to be
plus to
diplomatic
yours?
about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can
Oh, so you're...
You can yell in the middle of combat,
I guess
yeah.
You can yell.
They've, based on your entrance, they've identified you as a threat, so they're moving to attack you at this moment. That's what's happening. So it's not impossible, but
5 to 9.
No.
Wow.
6 is Carradine.
Okay, Orba
You recognize him, Carradine.
Yeah.
Slowpoke, Carradine. 6. Okay. And the losers over here?
I have 4.
And 3.
Christ,
I
you
know.
guys.
Yeah, the 2 toughies over here.
Graven busts the door and then is
Yeah.
kind of like taking his time. moving through the
Come
door.
on, everyone.
Those
Inside.
2 kicks.
Inside.
Those 2
Come on.
kicks, there's a lot of energy.
Inside. All right.
Everyone in the house.
Safira's starting us out here.
Great, and that's where we're going to take our break before we jump back into the thick of the
Man,
combat.
2 was Erland. I knew
And then
it.
Erland appears
Yeah.
out of a barrel.
He's a traitor!
Holy crap.
So that's where we're going to pick up. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break, have some dinner, jump back. Thank you guys for
Oh my
joining
God,
us.
let's go.
We'll be right back.
Let's go!
I'm ready.
I'm over it.
I am.
my life that I did not.
All right, we're coming back from break. I'm gonna
Everybody should floss.
Okay.
Yes. At least 3 times a day.
there.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
good.
gosh, yeah.
I do it every afternoon.
That's cool.
Oh,
Oh no, battle music.
All right, we're welcoming John back to the.
What happened?
Charge.
Erland, not
I
quite here
leave for
yet.
1 hour and he lost.
why are there lions?
Yeah, where'd you go?
Wait, why are there?
Can't tell you.
So,
Oh,
They have a secret door with
you
their
guys
okay.
leap into battle.
Erland is turned into a lion.
And as the battle begins and the commotion starts to fill up the room, you hear through a door on the other side of the room a little bit of growling and gnashing. A little bit of. And you can hear it on the other side of the door, and it looks like one of the 2 people is making a move towards the back door. So who we got up first?
Me.
Safira,
It's me.
you're up.
Oh my god.
Crap. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds.
We enter a
Okay.
slow
So
Safira
I have
thing.
my hand on my. I had my hand on my sickle when he kicked down the door.
Yep.
So, and one of the guys is running towards the back door. Right now.
So this one is making a move towards the door. This is Carradine in the corner, and this was the guy who, when you first banged on the door, he made a move towards the weapons. So he has picked up a large axe. The other 2 just have their daggers at the moment.
So, okay, I'm just gonna shout and see if they stop really quickly. Hang on! No one needs to die here. Just, I have my hand. Does he stop? Does he stop running?
No.
I'm gonna take my bow off my shoulder, arm it. I'm gonna aim right for his head.
Who are you shooting at?
The guy who's running for the door.
Great, make an attack roll.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Okay.
No one needs to die. Except for you!
21.
21 hits, roll for damage.
Oh my god. Just killing
What is
people.
1d8? Can you help me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the next one.
2. Okay. 5.
5, great. So the arrow loose and it sticks into him, and he sort of the impact takes him by surprise a little bit, and he sort of just reaches out and he's picked up the axe, but now he's got sort of the arrow lodged in him, and he sort of picks it and throws it on the ground.
Okay. Oh, that's it. That's all I do.
Unless you want to move, yeah.
Yep. I want to move to try to block him from getting to that door.
All the way to here.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna die. But
What's your movement?
my movement. Where is it?
Right in the center.
We're kind of in the middle.
Whatever. 30 feet walking.
Great, so you can make it there. You sort of slip by Beezaura as she's sort of standing there ready, and you're gonna have to. This guy gets an attack of opportunity
Okay.
as you make your way to the door.
Good point in the music.
12 to hit.
12 misses.
12 misses. So as you run by, he's got the axe and he's sort of holding the wound that just came out, and he sort of gives a swipe, but you evade him and move forward.
Okay.
Great, so you walk towards the door and you're trying to block the door.
Yes.
Right? So you sort of put your back to the wall and
And
you
I'm
sort
gonna
of.
take my sickle.
Great, and you've got the sickle
Yeah.
ready to go.
Wait,
Great.
the guy that she hit, I thought was a different guy.
She hit the guy who went for the weapons, correct?
No, I thought she hit the guy near the door.
Oh, you shot at the one near
I
the
was
door.
trying to go- yeah,
Okay, sure.
sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let me just mark that.
Just to be clear.
Yep.
I didn't understand.
Just kidding. Weapons guys feeling great. No injuries.
That's at the end.
Great. Yeah. Sure. So this is the injured one.
Yes, yeah, the one that's
Yep.
closest to the door.
Great.
All right.
Who's next?
Man one.
Man one. Okay, so man one is the one who acted first and leapt up towards the weapon, so he's got
Great.
the axe. So
Stare
he's
at
going to, seeing Safira run by and noting the sort of urgency of getting to the door, he's going to move towards Safira, but in doing so, you're going to get an attack of opportunity as he
All right.
runs by.
Yeah. Swing my mace right in the
Great, yeah.
middle of his back. There's no plus to that, right?
If it's next to your weapon, yeah. it should
12.
be. 12 hits?
Yes! Okay.
They're not. You guys get a look now, and it looks like only Carradine's wearing any kind. He's got like a leather armor outfitted. The other two do
Sweet.
not.
1d6. Excuse me. 3.
3 damage. Great. So you sort of clip him as he goes by, and he gets the like the impact of the mace as he's moving by. And he's going to make an attack on Safira. He's got the axe in hand. He sort of does and lifts it over.
Oh God.
5 to hit.
5 misses.
5 misses. So he brings it down, but Safira kind of gives a sidestep and it sort of lodges itself in the door behind her, and he has to pry it out. Man 2. Man 2 is the other non-K, the one nearer to the door, and also making an attempt. Where's Safira? There she is. Is going to make an attempt on Safira. So he runs up and he's only got the dagger. So he pulls out the dagger and he sort of goes for a quick jab. 14 to hit.
Yeah, my armor class is 14.
So that hits, yes.
That hits, yeah.
Yeah, so that hits. So he manages to poke and sort of, you duck back, but a little bit of jab goes into your chest.
Okay.
And
That feels like that would be a lot of damage.
you take 5 piercing damage.
Ouchies.
And the two of them are gonna stay there next to you, next to the door.
Okay.
And as of now, you sort of blocking the door. They're trying to take you down before they get to the door.
Yeah.
So neither of them have attempted to
Yeah.
knock the door down. And as you moved closer to the door, you can hear the sort of clawing at the. You can hear the like dogs, sort of, or what you think are dogs, sort of howling at the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
All right, Beezaura,
It's me.
you're up.
I think I'm gonna move towards that guy in front of Safira.
Okay. This one here. This guy here.
Yeah, that's the one, right?
Yep.
That's the closest one to me.
That's a close one.
I'm just gonna try to flail. him.
Great. You take the flail out. She swings it as she's running forward and make an attack roll. That's man. That's man 1.
Oh, it's like in the. Oh no, it's not. Is it in the middle?
You can roll it again if it's.
Yeah, it's cocked.
Oh yeah, it was cocks. I just
Go ahead.
moved it with my hand.
It was cocked right between a 2 and a 3.
It was actually between an 8 and a 20, so it was pretty serious. Oh,
Just roll a different one.
Here. I'm just so nervous. I'm so sorry. When did that land?
It's okay. I'll grab it.
I kicked it already. Go.
It's gone forever.
Sorry. I'm fighting.
You miss on that one.
Yeah. Okay. What do I add to it?
Next to your weapon.
Yeah.
22.
22
Take
hits. Roll for damage.
that. Which same one?
No. What next to your weapon on your sheet? It'll tell you. It's a
Oh, I read the D8,
Mhm.
which is this guy.
Yep.
double pyramid one.
Yeah.
No. This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
take that back.
That's not what I was saying.
Oh.
Plus whatever's
plus
next to
2,
it.
so 3.
3 damage. Great. So she goes running forward and the flail kind of makes an impact and he sort of gets it really sticks in him. He's not wearing armor, so he gets a good piece, a good chunk out of his shoulder.
Jesus.
Anything else you want to do? You have long rested. You have your action surge from before if you want to use that again, or you can save it.
Action surge would just be like another one.
Yeah, you can make another attack.
So he's like hurt, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Both of 2 people have hit him at this point. He's got a couple wounds.
So maybe I should just try to go for him one more time.
Go for it.
Okay.
Right. So
Do I
after
roll?
same another attack roll. So after swinging the flail, Beezaura sort of summons the strength and goes around for another swing.
Oh God. 7.
7 misses. So she goes for the
Damn it.
swing and it kind of clips the door and the wall, like a piece of the wall kind of goes flying off, splintered.
Tried.
That's it.
Great. Orba,
I got
you're up.
arrested.
Okay. I'm going to the man 2 is the one that's wounded, correct?
Man 2 and Man 1 are both wounded. This was the one Safira shot at, and this guy's been hit twice, once by Graven, once by Beezaura.
Oh, okay.
Carradine's the only one who has not been injured yet.
Okay. Orba's gonna look at man, the one that attacked Safira. So the one on the left.
They both attacked
Or
Safira.
sorry, the one that successfully stabbed
Okay, yes,
Safira.
yes. That's Man 2.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not on a
love
first
that
name basis,
fucking
just
Yeah.
Man 2.
Gentleman 2. And Orba's gonna hold out her hand and cast. Wait a second, I should have thought of this earlier. Just gonna cast Ray of Frost at
Great.
that person.
So, sort of a jet of ice.
Nat 20.
Nat 20,
Nice.
roll for damage.
Okay, so that is 1d8. 4, so 8, I believe. Let me
Yeah,
just-
doubles.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 damage.
8
Great.
damage.
So sort of the ray of ice goes shooting out, and it clips the man there standing at the door, and it hits the arm, and the arm comes detached and pins to the wall in ice, and he's sort of in shock, kind of, and crumples backward.
He's dead?
Well,
Yes.
it's unconscious.
You got him!
Unconscious.
I mean, he's bleeding out. He's probably going to be dead by the end
He has
of
no
this.
Okay,
help.
Orba's choking back some vomit right now.
I hope you wanted to really
I'll
focus
just-
too
I
low.
did.
Okay,
I
good.
did.
And she's gonna stay there and just
Yeah, as a
hold
don't
herself
kill
in her
Carradine,
constitution.
though.
That's disgusting.
All right, Carradine's up, and Carradine looks, and he's sort of in the panic. He was rushing for a weapon, but now he looks up and he recognizes Graven and Safira and Orba. Well, no, he doesn't recognize
Yeah.
Orba. Orba's different. So he recognizes Graven and Safira, and he gets this look on his face, and he pulls out a second dagger from behind his back, so he has the 2,
Oh, God.
and he's going to rush forward and take a double stab at Graven.
All right.
So
no.
When do I choose to use the Stone's Endurance?
you can use it
After
now.
he says it's a successful hit, right?
Read it, yeah.
You can focus yourself, shrug off injury. When you take damage.
When you take
can
damage,
use
so
it,
you can
right?
wait to
Okay,
see if
I'll
it
wait,
hits
yeah.
or not. Yeah.
Just look at it.
16 to hit.
16 hits.
16 hits, great.
Yeah.
So now would you like to use Stone's Endurance?
Yeah,
Great.
use it.
And does that just
I'm gonna
what
get
is
You can roll your reaction. You can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your Constitution modifier, reduce the damage by that total.
Great. So I'll tell you what the damage is. It's 6 piercing damage.
So a d12 is a dingus right here. Add your Constitution modifier. 14.
14. So the damage is reduced. So as he goes in for the stab, you sort of summon the power, and you see the sort of stones rippling up, and it sort of clinks off the side of your chest. And so he sees that, and then the stone kind of fades, and he goes in for a second attack.
Ah, shit.
19 to hit.
Yeah, 19.
19 hits. So he goes in for the second dagger, and that one manages to find purchase. And you take 6 piercing damage.
Got it.
Sorry, guys.
And
You tall, hot bitch.
he is also, after
We'll
taking
make
those
you pay us
swipes,
back.
he's going to move towards
Me.
Safira as they sort of surround
Do I get
her.
an attack of
You
opportunity?
do, yes.
Yeah, I do. I take my hand away from the blood stain and whip my mace around as he walks away.
Come on.
Let's go.
18.
18 hits, roll for damage.
Still think we should.
6.
6 damage. Great. So
Yeah.
as he runs by, the mace comes down and it sort of clips him on one of the back legs as he's running, and a nice gash appears sort of right where the armor wasn't quite fully around the calf. And you see some of the blood kind of hit the floor. And that's Carradine. Jaiwa, you're up.
Okay, so I am gonna. I have a bonus action, so I can go into a rage.
Great. So Jaiwa, you sort of see her focus her energy, and the skin starts to glow, and you see her go, and the veins kind of pop out of her arms and her neck as she summons the strength and goes into a barbarian rage.
And
I like her.
She still speaks very softly. She's like, I'd like to.
yes.
I'd like
I'm
to
trying to
show
figure
you
out what
something.
frickin' dice I should roll.
For what?
Yeah, well,
I'm taking my great axe, but I want to just like throw like I have all my stuff, but I'm trying to like throw Carradine out of the way so that I can get him. Like we can't kill him, but I'm trying to get him like
Injured.
Sure. Yeah. Are you trying?
incapacitated.
You can incapacitate by hitting him hard enough, just non-lethally.
Right.
Yeah. So you can do this. You can just make a regular attack roll.
Okay, great. So which
Yeah.
one is that?
That's
Sorry,
what you're
this
gonna
one.
want.
Perfect.
Carradine.
Yeah, Carradine is my focus.
Yep.
So
So you add whatever you use.
Next to your grade.
so that is 15.
15 hits. Roll for damage.
And then you get to
Damage
roll.
is
What is it?
Can I hit-
1d12.
yeah, 1d12.
So,
Great.
and you want it non-lethal, right?
I want non-lethal. I guess which
Assuming you have enough damage too.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. That's an honor.
one? Okay, got it. Yeah, I want non-lethal. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Great.
Wow, this is tough.
6.
6 damage. Great. So you go in and the axe kind of hits him, but he does manage to move out of the way a little bit, so it's sort of a gash and blood spattering. It's not enough to knock him out. I mean, he seems to have more toughness than that. So he sort of assesses the wound and kind of holds it there.
Oh wait, do I have more damage when I do that?
Because yeah.
So it's actually an 8. It should be 8.
Great.
Awesome.
So the wound is a little bigger than you thought.
Slightly bigger.
He's still standing.
He's
though.
now very woozy. Yes.
Great.
Okay, cool.
Graven, that's you.
All right. Yeah, I'll walk up to the guy behind Safira there and give him a whack.
The non-carrot.
Yeah, man, whatever's left.
Sure. Man 1.
I'll leave him to you for now. Right. 10.
10 misses.
Okay.
So Graven heads up and he goes for a swing of the mace, but the guy is sort of even distracted a little by Carradine next to him. They sort of do a little split and the mace kind of comes down between them.
Mm-hmm. Stuff like grappling I can't do on the
That's an action
That's
as
an
well,
action.
yeah.
Okay. Yep, I'm done.
Great. Head back up to the top.
Good
Safira.
times.
Okay.
Actually, between these rounds, you can, as Safira is sort of close to the door, you can hear a little bit of rattling as the animals on the other side are attempting to sort of push through. But as of now, it seems
Is
to be
it an
closed.
action for me to try to move something in front of the door?
It would be, yeah. To move something heavy in front of the door would be, yeah.
I do feel like that's a priority. So I'm gonna take. Can I take the table?
There's a table, yeah.
Can I kind of yank the table and try to push it in front of the door?
Sure, make an athletics check.
Nice.
Can I like yell at the guy in the middle like, what's back there?
You can. He's a little focused. He doesn't answer. Okay.
17.
17, great. So Safira's kind of quickly takes a step forward, grabs the leg of the table, and sort of pulls it across the room and pushes it up against
Yeah,
the door.
I want to kind of move in front of the table.
Great, yeah. So you're almost like sitting, like leaning back, perched on the table, which is
Yeah.
blocking the door. Yeah.
Just chilling on the table.
Objective-based gaming. Let's go.
And the door, you can see as soon as the table kind of pushes up against it, the rattling of the door kind of gets a little less vicious because they can't push it as hard as the loose door before. Anything else?
I can't do anything else than move, right?
Yeah, other than move, yeah. So unless you're
No, I want to stay. I want to stay there. Can I pull the dagger out of my, like the dagger that he has, so I can also use that? Because he stuck it in me. He left it
No,
there,
he
right?
stabbed
He
you.
stabbed.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
I
stabbed
thought he
you.
left it there. Okay. I thought maybe
Left your present.
I was like,
They say not to
That's
remove
you.
it, and
okay,
they
so
say to
I'm
keep
just
it in
gonna kind
there.
of stay in front of the table.
Great.
Then I think I'm gonna have my bow ready.
Sure. All right, so man 1, he's going to bring his axe down on the table, not on anyone else. Great, so he brings his axe down and he really gets some force into it, and the table, kind of old and decrepit, really gives out, and it in the middle kind of gives way, and the rattling of the door sort of resumes as the dogs push
Do I
against
get
it
an
on the other
attack of
side.
opportunity?
He's next to you, so no. Yeah, he didn't move out of range of you. But that is his. He can't attack now. That was his action.
He didn't move out of range of me?
Yeah. Make an attack of opportunity. He sort of moves around you there. And
Not
Beezaura.
me too, yeah.
Beezaura as well.
15.
15 hits. Roll for damage.
I'll fuck him up.
And actually, yeah, if he goes down here, he wouldn't have been able to
4.
break the table. 4. Okay. So as he moves, you clip him, and a little bit of blood spurts off the back. What did you roll?
11.
Wait, was that the attack roll?
No, I rolled a
Oh, you hit, right, so
I
4
hit.
damage. And so what was your attack roll?
11.
11, so 11 misses. Yeah, so Beezaura doesn't hit him on the way out. So he does manage to break the table, but he's looking worse for wear. I mean, Graven was able to sort of clip him there at the end.
Sorry, guys.
It's my turn though, right?
It is, yep.
I'm gonna go after him again.
Okay, same guy.
Take him out.
Beezaura moves forward. Take another swing.
Yeah. 19.
19 hits, roll for damage.
Oh my god. 3.
3 damage, okay. So the flail comes around and it hits him, and without the armor, he's got sort of punctures in him all over, and he's trying to sort of hold himself together, but he is barely still. He's got the knife in this hand, and he's like trying to hold himself up, but he stays standing for now.
Oh!
Gross.
I don't feel good about this. I really don't feel
Seems a void is
I'm
gonna
done.
really fucking hate us after this.
Okay.
This is a
Orba, you're up.
Alright, Orba's still
Finish him!
Orba's starting to feel a little guilty about all this, and she looks up
Really?
and she casts she casts Ray of Frost at the guy, it kind of solemnly, and casts it.
Great. Another jet of ice kind of comes flowing out of her hand.
What'd I say, Ray of Frost? Yeah, 14.
14 hits. Roll for damage.
More than 2, maybe.
Oh my god.
7.
7
Orba
down.
just looks down.
He's finished!
So the ray of frost comes shooting out, and it manages to sort of hit him in the chest, where some of the blood freezes immediately as it hits, and it sort of clots there, and he sort of writhes in pain, and then sort of his breath leaves him, and he collapses to the floor.
Did I get him?
You got him!
Okay.
You absolutely murdered him.
Oh, Graven.
Stop enjoying this.
And she just turns to the wall.
All right. Carradine's up, and Carradine's sort of looking around, seeing the fallen men. Sort of, he goes into sort of a frenzy, and you can see it sort of cloud his eyes. And he's gonna take an attack on everyone he's adjacent to in quick succession as he
Me
kind of
too?
goes into this battle frenzy. You're not next to him, so he's gonna make
Safira.
he's gonna make 2 attacks on Safira, Graven, and Jaiwa.
Who?
Yeah, he goes a
What did I tell you
as he
guys?
goes for a stab on each person.
Is he allowed to do that?
Sure.
I made it up just now. So he's gonna go counterclockwise. So Jaiwa, he's gonna attack first. 14 to hit.
That hits, but I'm also still in a rage.
Yes. Is there?
I'm in rage.
Read the description of rage, just so
It
we.
says, sorry, you gain
That's okay.
advantage on STR checks and
Strength
saving
check.
throws, not attacks, +2 melee damage with STR weapons,
Strength weapons, yeah.
resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage.
Great. So it is piercing damage because they're daggers. So
Right.
he still hits you, but you take less damage. You take half
Oh,
damage.
okay, got it.
So it's 14 to hit. What's your armor class?
14.
So it does hit. Great.
It does
So he
hit.
hits you with the first attack, and it's just 3 damage. So rounded down is just 1 damage. So
Okay.
or does it round? It rounds
Down.
Yeah, down. So
Down.
you take 1 damage.
Definitely down.
I was ready.
I know, we always forget that one. And then he goes in for the second attack with the dagger. 7 to hit.
No.
7 misses. Great. So he goes for the 2 attacks, and after the first jab, you sort of duck out of the way, and he keeps spinning around, and he moves to Graven and makes 2 attacks.
I'm gonna warding flare.
Great.
Interpose divine light between me and him when he's attacked. 30 feet. Use your action to impose disadvantage on an attack roll.
Great. Yep.
Sweet.
So 9 to hit.
9 misses.
9 so the first attack, he sort of the flash of light. He turns his head and sort of reaches out with the dagger, but doesn't manage to get you. And he makes a second attack on you. 14 to hit.
14 misses.
14 misses. So the blinding light sort of still the spots in his eyes, kind of ringing from the light. He goes for another and misses you with that one.
Okay.
And he continues spinning around and makes it around to Safira. 17 to hit. 17 hits. You take 5 piercing damage.
Okay, you're okay.
So he reaches out in like a blur as his hands are moving forward in stabbing motions. He hits you with the first one. And then 12 to hit.
12 misses.
12 misses. So in the second one, again, just like Jaiwa, after the first one, you sort of slide back a little bit, and the second one reaches out and misses. And that's the end of his turn. You're up, Jaiwa.
Okay, great. I am ready to, just knock him back in that corner.
Sure.
Away from everybody, and I really want him, out of the action. But I still don't want to kill him.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, try to hit him with the blunt of my
Sure, you
axe.
sort of go with the
Yeah,
pommel.
exactly.
Make an attack roll.
16.
16 hits, roll for damage.
1d12, sorry.
Good, I think it's this one.
This one. Great. 8.
8 damage. Great. So as you go for the whack, it sort of hits him on the side of the head, and you see a sort of blood splatter head out. And he rattles back a little bit. He sort of takes a step back and blinks a few times, and then sort of steadies himself. and he's still up and fighting, and he brings his daggers back up.
So I'm next. Can I just run in and like grab him and try to put him in like a headlock or something? Like,
You can grapple
Put him
him.
to sleep?
Yeah.
grapple him.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead and make a athletics check, I believe, against his. You are making an athletics.
I am making athletics. Oh yeah, I am proficient. 18.
Contested by his 7. So yeah, you go in.
Yeah,
and you're able to sort of.
literally like put him in like a full Nelson. Like,
Yeah. So Graven
up
slips
behind
behind, and he kind of you can stay where you are, and he kind of grabs him, so he's grappled.
him. Okay. Tickle him, everyone.
Put him to sleep.
I
or
can't
something?
like do anything with him.
Not until your next turn.
Not until my
Yeah.
next
Mhm. Great. So he's held there. Graven sort of got him. And we're back to Safira.
What is the situation with this door?
I mean, it's rattling. It has not
What
come
is
down
around
yet.
me that I can put in front of the door?
No large objects. You can stand there and hold it shut.
I would rather not.
I mean, there was a couple chairs, but they don't weigh much. The table was the only large object in the room.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand in front of the door.
Great.
I'm kind of injured.
And you can
so I'm
attempt
kinda-
to also sort of steady the door if you want to make like an athletics check.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. As you kind of sort of try to dig your heels in and push yourself up against the door.
Jeez. 20.
Great, 20. So you sort of put your feet down and you go into kind of a squat and you sort of push up against the door and you're holding it pretty steady there.
Okay.
Well done.
That goes to Beezaura.
Okay, because everyone died.
Yes.
We killed him.
Man 1 and Man 2. You never knew him.
Yeah. Sorry,
guys.
it could have been my Sudus. So if he's in a headlock,
Kick him in the nuts? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I guess just
Nut kick.
Just bonk him.
just like
You
head.
can like non-lethally hit him. Yeah. With
Yeah.
your weapon too. You can. You can do it non-lethally.
I guess I'll do that.
Sure.
Like a
Yeah.
non.
So
but
you run up. And
I just want to ask him. I just want to confront him. How do we?
You can shout out to him. He's sort of getting choked out at the moment and bleeding from a couple places.
Can I ask for the brooch?
Sure, you can ask her to toss you the brooch.
Can you toss me the brooch?
Yeah.
as you sort of are within range, so yeah, you sort of grab it from her as you walk by, and now you're up next to him. Graven's holding him.
Why were you at that site of the fire?
Are you asking Carradine or her?
Clarity.
Oh, great. So you sort of run up to Carradine, who's being held, and do you release him enough to sort of...
Oh yeah,
breath?
yeah. You can-
And he sort of opens his mouth, and he looks at you, and he looks like he's going to say something, and then... And he spits blood into your face.
Oh! Got all over my face! Again. Well, that wasn't very nice.
What are you gonna do, Beezaura?
You
You
can't
want
have
to
a full conversation here in
Yeah,
the middle of your
we're-
turn. You can shout something like you did.
Okay. Let's just.
Kick him in the.
All right,
nuts.
I'll kick him in the balls.
Great.
You want to kick in the balls?
He doesn't affirm
Yeah.
or shake his head.
Yeah, after he spits, I kind of like
Take the
great.
brooch.
pull up
Tightens the grip a little
tighten
bit.
the.
Great. So make an attack roll.
And do I use that unarmed strike?
Yeah, sure, if you're attempting.
14.
14 total? 14 misses.
Does it matter that he's grappled?
No. So she goes for the kick, and he sort of manages, even with Graven holding him, to kind of struggle a little bit, and sort of moves back and pushes Graven a little bit as he tightens his hold.
You're lucky.
All right, Orba, you're up.
Okay. Can I do non-lethal magic damage?
Yeah, you can. I think so. Yeah. Let me find out.
Or not a good puncher.
Only a spell that includes a melee attack as part of the spell. So,
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know.
So there are spells that have melee.
Orba's gonna cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Let me hold on.
She starts doing like a belly dance.
Can you do that in combat?
I'm not
Okay,
doing
you
it.
do
I'm
that.
not doing that. I changed my mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up and just try to hit him.
Unarmed, just punch him.
Yeah.
Great.
But Orba just has an open palm and just kind of.
What is your speed?
My speed's 30, I believe.
Great, you can make it. Yeah.
Yeah, 30.
Sure. Great.
So I'm just gonna
This guy's surrounded.
smack him in the face.
Great. Orba goes for smack.
Right in the kisser. 17!
17 hits. Roll for damage.
Ah!
This is gonna be the straw that broke the camel's back. Right now.
You bitch.
It's
0
Zero?
It says 0 bludgeoning.
What?
plus 0?
It just says 0.
Oh, because your strength is 0, right?
Yeah.
It's your strength modifier.
So I literally.
Yeah, you give him a good love smack.
You don't even get to roll a die?
No, I just.
What?
An unarmed attack is just your strength modifier.
Yeah, so I have
Wow.
-1 strength.
Unless you have a particular ability.
But
That's sad.
Orba feels really empowered by
Yeah,
it when
I
she
mean,
does
you
it.
give him a good smack, but.
And how many feet did I move to get near him?
1, 5, 10, 15, 25.
If he's grappled, does he get attack of opportunity?
He does not.
Kick
He
at you?
I don't believe so.
Sorry.
We're learning all kinds of new things.
We had to just like tie him down.
I mean, I'm doing the closest thing to that I can.
0 bludgeoning. I forgot about that.
I don't think you also don't have an. I mean, is there a space you can even move to that would
Oh, is there
trigger an
not?
attack of opportunity?
No,
I don't think there
I don't
is.
think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought directly behind Jaiwa was available.
But that's still he's still diagonal. I mean that's still.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. It was hard to tell.
Yeah, he's still
Okay,
within
I'll
range,
stay.
so
I'll
there is
stay
no attack.
and just smack.
Great.
I'm done.
Yeah, I mean you guys
Wow.
are impressed by Orba's gumption as she walks up and then smacks him in the face.
Alright. Well, now it's his turn to get mad.
Yeah, so he's gonna attempt to break the grapple.
Yep.
So
do
make
I
an
have to roll
athletics
something?
check,
Another
yeah.
athletics. Come on, proficiency. Fuck, 6.
12. So he does break the grapple. He sort of shakes himself free and
Oh, alright.
shoves you away from him. And he's going to attempt to make a break for the exit.
Ugh.
And
Worked lots of
he's gonna
opportunity.
split through you. So the 3,
So good.
4. Does everybody get it? No, not yet.
me.
Right? No, Safira does. Safira and
I
Beezaura
do?
both make attack of opportunities as he sort
Wow.
of pushes through. If he moves further, you will also get attack
Right.
of opportunities.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot my. Okay, from my kind of squatted position, I'm gonna try to shoot my bow. at him.
Sure.
And I'm aiming.
With I think attacks of opportunity are only with a melee weapon.
Oh, well then I have to run away from the door.
No, because as he's moving away from you,
Oh, I
you
see.
get to take a
So
swipe
then
at
I'll
him.
take a swipe at him, but
Yep.
I'm going for like his legs, because again, I'm trying to incapacitate.
Sure, yeah, you can. So it's non-lethal,
Yeah.
sort of, is the attempt.
Shit. 7.
7 misses, so the sickle goes free.
I'm gonna go for him.
Yep.
Come on.
20.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Great, let's roll for
Awesome.
damage. This is non-lethal, I'm assuming, attempting to be?
Yeah, unless we like just cut off his leg or something. I mean,
Well, decide
Yes,
whether you
please
want to
say
kill him or
no.
not.
well, cutting off his leg.
Just say
won't kill
non-lethal.
him. Non-lethal.
That's what I need to know.
Non-lethal,
Great.
but I mean, like when you lose a leg.
I mean, he might bleed out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna kill him. Okay. 8.
8.
Well,
Double the dice.
So,
Oh, sorry. 6.
6.
no.
No.
Double the dice is 8 plus 2.
Yep.
Oh.
Because it was a 20, it was a critical hit. You whacked him and he
10.
went by. Great, 10 damage. So as he's running by, Beezaura clips him in the leg and he sort of goes ragdolled almost to the side as he
That's
collapses.
right.
And he collapses to the floor, unconscious as far as you can tell.
Oh my god.
Now, the only thing you can still hear in the room is the gnashing and the thumping on the other side of the door. What are you guys attempting to do with that before we exit?
Is there any
combat?
spell either of you have that can silence that?
Can I see through the door, or is it a
No,
solid door?
it's closed. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of like.
I'm kind of struggling against the door.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's behind this, we don't want it getting out. So if anyone has an idea,
I mean, I'm real strong. I can like go and hold the door more, but maybe can we like push like pile the chairs up so it's
You
What
can.
are
The chairs probably aren't heavy enough to
what does
really
everyone
make a
have in their
difference.
backpacks?
Nothing.
So no, someone has a can of oil. I think it's me.
Oh, I might have something.
I have some rope.
I don't need anything.
Because I'm thinking that we make a little Molotov and give these.
Oh, the doggos.
Do I have a
I don't know if they're
backpack and
dogs
stuff?
though. I don't
Burn the place down.
If it's the
I
like
have
the
an
page
oil
with the backpack
flask
on
in
it.
my bag.
How are you gonna get it into that room though? It's a solid door.
Someone's gonna have to run around and go through a window. Can I?
You want to burn this house down?
Just
Yeah,
those.
that will
Just
burn.
We're already in trouble for burning down a house that we didn't burn down. You want to actually burn down a
I literally
house?
have a piece of cloth.
This is all happening.
I have nothing.
That's perfect. Piece of cloth. will
I-
work great.
No. We're not burning a house down.
I think we
So
can't
with-
burn a house down under my watch.
Yeah.
With Carradine sort of knocked out and you holding the door steady, we'll sort of come out of combat here. And so you can still hear the rattling of the door, but we're not taking turns and rounds yet.
Okay.
So you guys have a moment here to decide what you're doing. You got Carradine's unconscious body on the floor, and the dog's in the other room.
I'm gonna
Yeah, if you've
like.
got rope, tie him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna tie him
Great,
up.
you take a
and
moment.
then-
I'll add my strength to the
Make
door.
a dexterity check for me,
Right.
just straight dexterity. So the big number's on the side.
Oh, that is 12.
12. Great. So yeah, you take a moment to sort of rope and nice and tight, and it seems like he's bound pretty well.
Great.
I guess let's take this elsewhere. I'll carry him.
As soon as I move away from this door, I'm not convinced that it's gonna stay shut.
Do you have some magic? You can magic the door shut.
I can go look
Can
around.
you freeze it shut?
One question at a time, please. All I can do is I need to be able to see in the room. I need to figure out what's happening in there. I don't know what's going on. I can't just make a spell appear in a place that I don't know exists.
You can't just freeze the door shut.
I have no desire to find out what is behind the doors. I say we make a run for it with him.
Can somebody pick him up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raven,
I'll
you
pick him
got
up.
him. Big man.
big man.
Okay.
Not so small yourself.
And the door is like very much still rattling.
I mean, Safira's holding it right now.
And is the door that we broke
I mean, in
through
the
like
best way possible.
not?
Thank you.
It's done. Like we
So
can't
off its
close the door
hinges, yeah, it's sort
behind us.
of.
Right,
You
we
can
can't close
close
it.
it, but there's no lock. You've busted it open.
Okay, Orba's gonna just cast thaumaturgy and make the ground rumble all the way into that room as like to try to just kind of scare the dogs.
Sure. Yes.
Like just make
Or
them
whatever.
So
Yeah.
what are you? So you're making sort of a.
I want to create like some solid rumbling, sensations.
Great. So you sort of cast a spell, and you can hear the sort of the ground kind of the splintering of the wood a little bit, and you can hear it in the and you can hear a little bit of like a little growling behind, and the rattling stops a little bit. It sort of calms a little bit.
Okay, so I'm still standing on the door. I'm gonna say, all right, let's get out of the house. We'll shut the front door behind us. I'll be last behind you. Let's go now.
Yeah, not much of a front door left, but yes, let's go.
Let's run for it.
Who's
So,
carrying you?
I will.
Great. Make an athletics
Strength
check.
Athletics.
Someone can help you carry him.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to
Make,
help.
do it with advantage.
Advantage. 21.
Great. So you and Jaiwa, you
Got
grab
it.
him sort of by the two, and you hoist him, and the two of you head out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Who's heading out?
I'm behind them.
Great. You head out right behind them. Orba.
I follow.
You follow, and Safira.
Okay,
You've
so
seen them
I'm-
now all exit out the front door.
I'll exit. I'm gonna kind of feel the door. What?
Actually, Orba comes back and quickly pats down man 1 and 2.
Pat, you're checking around the room.
No, I'm looking through their bodies.
Make
to
an
see if there's
investigation
anything.
check.
1 second, Safira. Hold on. Just hold it. Just hold the door. Hold it.
I'm like in so much pain. I'm so
Hold it.
mad about this.
11.
11. I mean, they don't have much in the way on them, but they were playing a game of cards and gambling. There's probably 30 gold pieces here.
Orba gets out her pouch. Hold it, Safira. Hold it. And she
Sure.
starts-
And I'm
It's
like
on the
seeing
floor
the
now. At this
amount
point,
of
you're kind of, yeah, because the table broke,
Oh,
so
got
there's
it, right,
pieces everywhere.
I kind of seeing the amount of gold. I'm like kind of like fine.
like
I turn around.
gold.
30
Can I
gold,
turn
yeah.
around and see you're doing that?
We're
No,
out, we're
I'm
out.
out.
You guys have headed out the front door.
Where's your business? Okay, and I run.
Great. And you see, so you're the last one in the house.
And
Yeah, and I'm just can I just do a last kind of survey around the room? I just want to see, I don't know, like any distinguishing markings. Is there any way that I would know that this is a Gentle Void place?
I mean, you recognized Carradine, who is
Okay.
a member of the Gentle Void. And make a perception check as well.
16.
16. I mean, you take a look around. This space doesn't appear to be a Gentle Void hideout. It's basically they go here to blow off steam, play cards. You know, there was just the table, a few chairs, some rudimentary weapons.
Put peanut butter on it.
There doesn't appear to be any other than the door that you're holding shut. No other way out of the room.
And the 2 men that we killed.
Yep.
Do they look like they were soldiers of some kind?
They look like they're in good shape. They look like they had some fighting skill. They didn't look like everyday like civilians.
Okay.
There's no tattoos or markings on them or anything.
Yeah, because I have a feeling of that. So I'm gonna kind of feel the door and look to the men that we killed, and then just kind of try to sprint.
Great, you do go into a full sprint, and you can kind of hear a little bit of the rattling behind you.
Yeah.
As you make your way out, and are you slamming the what's left of the door behind you?
What's left of the front door behind me.
Great. Yeah. So you guys have exited out, and you hear a little bit of rustling behind you, but nothing immediately comes chasing after.
Is there anywhere we can go?
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
No, look, we're not leaving civilians with those dogs trying to get out of the door. We're not doing that. I'm not
What?
doing that.
Can Orba do a quick look around at civilians? Is there anybody out on the street
There
watching?
are some people out on the street.
We're absolutely not doing that.
Can
I'm
I-
looking around for anything heavy.
We don't know what it is.
Well, whatever it is, it suddenly wanted to kill us. I'm not convinced that it wouldn't want to kill anyone here.
Fine. Yeah.
I mean, take a look around. There's some dilapidated homes. There's large beams of wood that have sort of broken off. There's a couple stones, sort of broken masonry from walls that used to be standing.
Can you hold him?
Mm-hmm.
Then all right, I'll help you. We'll grab a big rock together and
Okay.
pile them in front of the door.
Great, and as the 2 of them start to do that, we're going to take a brief reprieve and head over and welcome Erland.
He's here.
Hey.
And we find ourselves at Touch and Go, the healer's hut. And Erland wakes, and you open your eyes, and there's a bit of a dull, ringing headache. And you look around, and you're sort of lying down in a simple straw cot. And there's sort of a curtain that's been pulled around. You can't really see much other than that. It's been pulled around the perimeter of the bed.
Am I still wearing do I still have everything?
Yep, you have it. You're wearing all your clothes, and there to your right, your satchel is there with all of your things. It doesn't appear to be anything missing.
Hello? Where am I?
And you hear a little bit of shuffling, and then the curtain opens, and you see a man standing there.
Who are you?
Hi. You came in here in pretty bad shape. How are you feeling?
Fine, who are you?
My name's Michael. And a couple of men dropped you off here. It seemed like you were in a bad way, so we took you in.
What men? I don't remember anything.
A couple of men dressed in leather armor, carrying simple weapons. I didn't recognize them myself.
Last I remember, I was having a drink and then everything very dizzy, and now I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah. We applied an antidote. It seemed that you were poisoned. And if my guess is correct, it appeared to be drow poison, which is not fatal, but it can cause unconsciousness. Do you feel like you may have been robbed or anything taken from your belongings?
I'd like to check all my things.
Sure, yeah, you take a quick peek through. It doesn't look like anything's missing.
I don't think so. Do you know... Did the men who dropped me off say who poisoned me? Who I was...
They dropped you at the foot of the steps and left.
Last I remember, I was... Do you know Robert Bastille?
I know who he is, yes.
That's the last face I remember before.
Do you have any reason to believe that Robert would want to poison you? I don't want to blame Robert.
We were... If you know Robert, you know I can't tell you much, but...
He's a man of some secret.
But we were working together. I suppose that his trust in me dwindled or something.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's none of my business. I wish to treat you as best I can. Do you feel like there's any other injuries or soreness other than a possible headache from the poison?
I don't think so. What time is it?
It's close to noon.
So I've been out for quite some time then.
You have, yes.
Is there anything else you need to do to me, or are there any residual effects of this?
There shouldn't be, although I would caution you to take it slow, and you might find that your reflexes are somewhat slowed for perhaps a few hours after you've woke. I'm not going to hold you here, but I recommend that you rest, or at least take it easy.
You said... Perhaps you can help me, actually. You said your name is Michael, yes?
It is, yes.
Michael Ainsley, by any chance?
That's me.
I hate to say this to you, friend, but you might actually, without knowing it, be able to help me out of this predicament I'm perhaps in with Robert Bastille.
Well, I'd like to do whatever I can, although I will say that I'm not interested in being on Robert's bad side.
Exactly, and that's why you might be able to help me. Is there anyone else around right now that could hear this conversation?
I have another patient here as well. He's awake. I'm treating a leg wound.
If I speak quietly, will he hear, do you think?
He looks around and he sort of draws a curtain a little, like on the other side of the room, and
I think if we speak quietly, we should be all right.
Frank, do you know about the Light Whistle Estate Club?
I am familiar with it, yes.
I heard through some nefarious channels that you might be in possession of some pieces.
And at the mention of that, you can see him visibly sort of tighten up a little bit.
I know.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I'm afraid that my life may be in danger unless I get my hands on a chess piece. I'd be willing to do anything for you, friend. If I could just get my hands on a chess piece.
He's in love with me.
I don't know where you would be able to find that. I'm sure if you asked Robert, he might be able to point you in the right
Mr. Ainsley, I know for a fact that you have a chess piece, and I'm telling you, you have the opportunity to save my life.
Make a persuasion check.
What? I can't even hear
18.
this.
18. So he looks at you, and you can see him almost start to get a little prickly, but then his features soften, and he looks at you and sort of sees the visible distress that you're in.
What exactly do you have in mind, assuming that I have what you seem to imply that I have?
I would do anything for you for a chess piece. Anything you need done, any debt you need, any task you need. It would save my life.
What skills do you have?
I'm very good at combat and infiltration.
That doesn't interest me so much. In the past, I've mostly traded chess pieces for things that help my shop here, help people heal wounds.
I am traveling at the moment, so could perhaps get something from a distant place or even a close place that you might need. That might be hard to get.
You came to town recently.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Goliath that recently came to town?
I've seen him, yes.
Not a friend of yours?
We've crossed paths. I don't know.
The Goliath came to me with a wound that I think studying it would be beneficial to my practice, and that could possibly help others in the future. I've come to have a bit of a specialty regarding burns and wounds of that nature, and if I would be allowed, with his permission, to study the wound, perhaps we could make an arrangement.
How long would that take, do you think, studying the wound?
Well, I'd like to study it for at least an hour.
All right. I'll see what I can do. I'll try and track down this Goliath, but there's no way you could give me the piece beforehand.
Oh.
Definitely not.
Understood. Thank you, Michael. You just may have saved a silly man's life.
I certainly hope so, and I hope it doesn't bring me trouble.
I will make sure it does not.
He sort of gets up and goes about it. He
What
sort of
the
tends to the
heck
other
is
man.
happening?
So I'm gonna sort of stand up, and I assume I'm still.
Yeah, there's a little wooziness, wobbly.
Sort of steady myself and grab my things and
That's Michael Ainsley's emergency vehicle.
Yeah, they're dropping off more.
There's another patient. Get out of here.
All right, then I'm going to. I'm gonna head downstairs. All right.
Sure. It's on the second floor. Yeah.
So I'm gonna head downstairs.
Sure.
And,
You head out, and as you go, you see him kind of regard you, but not sort of pay you mind. Yeah.
So I'm heading out.
You're
on the
outside. You're outside, touch and go, outside of the place. It's midday. There's bustle you're in Songanon in the sort of main district. There's people moving about.
Is there any? There are a bunch of people around, I assume.
Yeah, there's lots of people around. Middle of the day.
Okay, I'm going to head back to the clan.
Okay. We'll start to head in that direction, and we'll revisit where you guys are at now that you've had a moment to think.
So we probably found a rock or something.
Yeah, you guys have taken a moment to push up against.
I changed my mind. As I start
Sure.
walking to the clan, I'm gonna head to the what's the Rose District pub called again?
The inn, Fables.
Fables Repose. I'm gonna head to them.
Sure.
Start in one direction.
It's headed in. It's headed. They're both in the same direction.
Great. Headed
so.
to Fables Repose.
I guess I'll keep walking in the same direction. Great. So yeah, you guys have taken the time to a couple pieces of masonry that have been chipped off of walls and push them up against the door. It's made a pretty decent barrier.
We can't stay here long. We have an unconscious man.
No, I understand. I'm just kind of trying to look around and see. I want to make sure everyone's safe to the extent that I can. So I just want to see.
Everyone meaning the party or people around?
No, I mean the civilians that are here.
Yeah, I mean it's not super crowded, but there's a few people sort of huddled around either a small fire or some people that are sort of milling about in the area.
Is it unlikely that they'll kind of go into this place, or?
If it's boarded up, I mean there's a number of boarded up homes, so.
Okay.
Safira, I'm sorry. Oh, we have to get you healed, and we have to go. And I know it was my insistence that we storm in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just start walking. We don't have
she's
a plan
pissed.
for. Yeah, actually. We don't have a plan for where we're going, do we?
I'm
just
You
gonna
guys
start
are holding
walking
about.
ahead
I mean,
of
and
everyone.
Can we go to my?
area.
Can we go to my flat? Is it
sure,
close
yeah,
by?
you have a house in the high street, so it's it's a little bit of a walk.
Oh,
but
let's
you-
go there.
I'm carrying a body.
Yeah.
Can
you're
we go to
carrying-
Polnick's? Is it
Polnick's
closer?
at Chupa Hall, which is on the other side of the city.
No, all right.
Let's
we'll
go to
to
your
my
place.
We're gonna go to my place. We're gonna take the back alleys.
Can I kind of turn back and we should go to Polnick.
I will send a letter.
We have a man
Oh,
with
for
us.
fuck's sake!
We can't go to Polnick.
And I'm just gonna. Where is your flat?
It's in the high street.
And I'm just gonna start walking off to the high street.
Great. So Safira's
She's
present.
I'm limping because I'm hurt.
Let's
We'll
get
be
over it.
fine. I can heal her. It's fine.
I'll help.
Okay.
You guys make your way. I mean,
Let's
you're
go.
walking and you're taking some streets as you sort of lead them through that
Yeah.
are less, but there are people here and there, and people watch you go by with the body.
Can I
Whatever.
can I do the thing where I'm like, oh wait, I'm the captain of the fire?
make
Like,
a make a performance check, like
Okay,
you
great.
came here to arrest him or deal
Or
with
help
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, or help him.
He was hurt in a fire.
And we're like kind of bloodied and.
Yeah, you guys look like you've been scraped. At least some of you, for sure.
Yeah.
Which one?
Performance, did you say?
Yeah, performance.
Oh, okay. That is 19.
19, great. So as you're walking through, you give a couple sort of calming gestures to let people know, and you're recognized by a lot of people in the city.
Yeah.
So you sort of calm some of the people look up in a little bit, and you allay their fears as you sort of walk through, and for the most part, you're going unnoticed. I mean, people are looking, but they're not stopping you or saying anything.
Okay.
Do we have a sense? Can we get a sense just from kind of like the time of day, what time it is?
Yeah, it's a little
noon.
past noon. Yeah.
Past noon. Okay.
Noon.
And is there? I mean, you're making your way to your house. Is there anything you want to do on the way before you guys get there?
I would like to send a note to Polnick to have a
Sure, you'd have to get someone to run a note. Who's going to do it?
Is there anybody around who
This is
like
the.
recognizes
this is,
me?
I mean,
We're
this
in
is
the bad
Brick
part of
Rock.
town.
Yeah, I mean, you could pay someone to take a note somewhere, but
Great.
they're not a courier, so you wouldn't. There's no guarantee that they'd take it there.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd like to find one of my guys.
Sure.
Let's just keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you start moving into the high streets, and now you're getting... There's some neighbors here that you live close to that you would recognize. You can flag somebody down.
Okay. Yeah, I see somebody that I recognize, and I say...
And you see a man, Vance, who lives a few houses down from you, and he sort of sees you coming, and he sees the rest of the party carrying it, and he sort of has a little shocked look on his face, but he recognizes you.
Thanks. Afternoon.
Hi.
Can you get a message to Pulnik for me?
Of course. You want to take a message to Polnik?
I do. Unfortunately.
Well, not my business, I suppose.
As quickly as possible, will you tell him to come see me?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
And he sort of shuffles off in the other direction.
Let's go.
How close are we to
Safira,
my
we're
house?
already in this.
Okay, great. So like,
Too late.
That's not what I'm thinking. Can I hear what she just said?
Yeah.
Look, I don't want you to meet with Polnick without me. I made a promise that I was going to meet someone else at 1 o'clock.
He's coming to her.
She told him to come to her, so presumably he's going to come to her house. That's what she told him.
I'll explain. It might take him some time. We just have to get Carradine out of the street. What would you like me to do, Safira?
Fuck it, I'll fuck off the other. It doesn't matter.
Who are you going to see?
Erland, and it doesn't matter.
We don't know where. See the other man,
No,
the
we were
monk.
supposed to meet, so I'm presuming that maybe if I show up to the spot where we're supposed to be, we find him.
Well, why don't you go do that? Do you need to be here?
She doesn't. She wants to meet Polnick.
I don't want to be absent again when people talk to Polnick.
Well,
Seems to have not worked out the last time.
Alright, but Erland's already going to be absent. I'm just saying, go do what you want to do.
I understand that you're angry, but we didn't have a lot of options.
We didn't have to go in there guns blazing, but sure, we didn't have a lot of options.
We got the guy. We're going to question him.
I'd like to go inside the house.
Can we
with the
go
body,
in?
please.
Why are we standing out
Let's
here?
go. Come on.
Yeah, you move into
You
her
have
house.
this conversation whether you want to stay or not want to stay when we get inside her home.
Thank you.
She has a nice home. It's a 2-story, sort of
Flunk.
standard high streets, and you plop Carradine's sort of limp body down on the floor there. You guys are inside the home.
How long do you think till he wakes up?
He would take probably an hour to wake up from unconscious, but you can also heal him to come bring him out of consciousness.
What are we going to do for an hour?
So you want to question him with or without Polnick present?
Without.
I could heal him.
I also have a way of
I
making...
can also heal you, don't worry.
Why don't we heal Safira since she's...
Oh, you're so...
Safira, can I get you something? Ale.
Yeah,
Wine.
actually, an ale would be... No, whatever's strongest in this house would be brilliant.
I've got something.
You got any crackers
So I
or
got-
anything?
Rummage around the
Yeah,
cupboards,
got
and
a
then you bring
cupboard.
out
You have any hors d'oeuvres?
a bottle of wine.
I got good one.
It's
Here.
fine.
It's wine.
I'm just gonna... Can I
Wait,
pop...
and I'm gonna take it from you. If you want to be cured, we're going to do that first, then you can have a drink.
Fine. I don't want to interfere with that.
And I'd put it down and I'd take your hands.
I'm kind of looking at him like I'm challenging him to cure me. I
Alright.
got so annoyed at the whole... My God.
And where the wound is in your was in
I
your
was
stomach.
stabbed, and then I've been injured a few times.
Alright,
She's in
I'll
tough shape.
She has a few.
press my hands together and hold them on your abdomen and cast cure wounds.
You said you wanted a snack.
Yeah, useful casting ability.
We're here.
I have cheese.
Delightful.
She has some sort of basic accoutrements in her house. Some
Thank
sort
you.
of Simple food.
Ability modifier.
Moment of respite
Orba.
here.
Would you
Spell
like
it.
any cheese?
Okay. She steals the cheese.
Take a moment to snack.
Spell casting ability, is that the same as spell attack bonus?
Yeah. No. Spell ability modifier is +2 for you, I think. It's your wisdom modifier, I believe. Let me look.
Yeah, +2.
It's 2. Yeah, it's your ability modifier.
Okay.
So yeah, 1d8 +2.
I heal you 3 hit points.
Oh, fuck off.
It's because you were so tense. What do you want me to do? I can only do so much. You need to relax.
I'll take the wine
Take the
back
wine.
and pop off the thing and just take a big...
Sure.
Can Orba go up to Jaiwa? When you're questioning Carradine, if he has any resistance to you,
don't go around telling this to people, but I have a way of making people talk. So if he is a problem, just let me know.
Thank you, Orba. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Should we heal Carradine now?
Is it
Yes,
the,
please.
Is it the same thing? Would I use like spare the dying, or would I just cure wounds and that would make him come back?
Does Spare the Dying stabilize an unconscious? Is that...
The spell has no effect. Touch a living creature, the creature becomes stable
yeah, that would take
with
them
0
out.
hit points.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And it's cantrip.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so yeah, I'll he's tied. We sit him up in a chair.
Sure.
Make sure that the rope is attached to
ropes
the
are
chair and
bound,
around
yeah.
him and everything. And I'll go behind him and just hold on to his head.
Great. And he sort of comes out of, and right before we get to that, we'll head back to Erland, who's made his way to Fable's Repose. And you see now here what Beezaura had seen before, a lot of people here who are washing up. The fire brigade is using Fable's Repose as a sort of station for some of the people who had cleaned up a fire nearby, and they're sort of washing, cleaning. People are moving in shifts in and out.
So I'm sort of seeing this from
Yeah.
like outside.
Yeah, people coming in and out of Fable's Repose.
Is there anyone who I recognize from my time in Orange Juba at all?
There
From,
is.
like, either in the window or outside, yeah.
Steve is there.
Oh, God.
And he got a decent look. He never saw me. I was loitering fairly
I
far
don't
back
believe
one
so,
day
yeah. I
when
don't
they
think
left their
Steve
trust. But no one else is that seems.
That's the only person that you
okay,
recognize
cool.
there.
So I have like a hood on my
Yeah, on your
usual
cloak,
one.
yeah.
Great. So I'm gonna pop my hood on and try and find a back corner table in Fable's Repose.
And so you enter, yeah.
I enter. Yeah. Very aware of people around me, and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna get a
You
bowl.
trying to remain unseen?
Yes.
Make a stealth check. 10. Okay, you enter and doesn't immediately draw anyone's attention. Nobody notices as far as you can tell. There's a fair bit of activity here, so people are focused on other things.
I'd love to grab just a bite of something simple and small.
Sure, yeah. There's someone who's been sort of feeding some of the volunteers here who have come to work, so you grab
So
a
they do
plate of
get stuff.
something.
Oh, for free. And I'm
As
gonna,
the people come in and out, they don't distinguish you from some of the volunteers, so you're taking a volunteer's food, but you get
I'm
it for
somehow
free.
comfortable with that.
Classic.
So I'm gonna park myself at it's not quite, I assume I got some time before 1 p.m., yeah?
Yeah, you've reached here at 12:30.
So I'm gonna park myself in like a back corner table and eat my food while looking around for Samuel Precus.
Great. Make an investigation check.
Are you gonna kill him?
He's gonna kill him.
16.
16. So you take a good look around, and you're sort of eating and
Why?
carefully clocking the people in the room. You don't see him, but as you look to the man standing sort of at the podium who would normally be checking people into the hotel, although people are sort of busy with other things, he's eyeing you up and down. He's kind of seems like he's trying to place you. And he looks down at a piece of paper that he has and back up to you. That's what he's doing at the moment.
Great. Is there any other entrance to this place?
You can go upstairs and out a window, but there's no back exit.
I'm going to calmly and without arousing suspicion finish my bowl of porridge and try and join like a line filing out of people.
Sure, there's not a huge line, but you can sort of stay close to someone else who's headed out. Great. And as you're sort of doing so, you do get a little...
Is it busy enough that if I ignore him, it's not like going to be weird?
Sure.
Oh.
Right? Do you know what I mean like is it busy enough that like it's possible I wouldn't hear such a small?
You could pretend you don't hear it, yeah.
Great. I'm gonna keep walking.
Okay. And he doesn't chase after you.
Great.
What am I?
So I'm now outside of Fable's Repose. I would like to. Is there like an alley? Or are there any like? Is there like any side streets that I could sort of hide in where I could still see the front of Fable's Repose?
Sure, yeah. There's streets that are used less, and there's some walls surrounding some of the homes. You could camp out in a nearby place.
Yeah, I would like to find a place to sort of sit where I can not be seen by, especially the dude who was just looking at me, but I could still see the
Sure, the entrance. Yeah, make a stealth check as you're outside here.
Where's my stealth at? 13.
13. Okay, so you.
Sorry, that's a lie. 23.
Oh.
What? That just went from 0 to 16.
I did math.
Did you subtract it? You were
Yeah.
like, I'm so bad at this. So you camp out near sort of, there's 2 walls that are near 2 of the Rose District homes, and you sort of crouch sort of between them, and you lean against it with your hood kind of drawn. And there's enough people moving about the thoroughfare. It's the middle of the day, so people aren't paying you any mind, and you have a good view of Fable's Repose.
Great. So I'm gonna camp there until at least 1 o'clock.
Great. So you take a move there, and we'll head back. And Carradine has sort of his eyes light up, and he gasps back into consciousness. And he's there with the ropes tied, and he's sort of got the wounds, and he stretches out a little bit, and he kind of looks around the room, and he smiles. And he spits off to the side. Found my little hideout, huh?
It wasn't very hard.
I wasn't really hiding.
We'd like to ask you a couple questions, Carradine.
I bet you would.
And we'd like you to answer.
Okay.
Well, that was easy. You know Lauren.
You know I do.
So, why did you burn down her house?
Her house burned down?
You shut your feckin' mouth.
Can I give him like a smack on the side of the head?
Sure, yeah. You give him a good... Make an athletics check. And...
Athletics.
7.
7. I mean, you give a smack,
Yeah.
but it doesn't hit with enough force, and
Yeah.
he kind of shrugs it off a little bit and chuckles a little.
As I see Graven do that, I say, are we torturing him now?
Talking back.
I appreciate the backup, Graven, but I can handle it.
All right.
Carradine.
Mm-hmm.
Those wounds aren't looking very good.
No,
They could help you. And I have no intention of helping you unless you give me some answers.
yeah, I'm sure Guy Lamar would love if he found out that you helped me. I think I'd rather die. And he kind of, even though he's tied up, sort of sits back and pretends to be sitting comfortably in the chair. He like crosses one leg over the other.
Yep.
Why was your brooch at the scene of the fire?
Somebody must have dropped it there.
Why would you want to blow up all of those valuable things in their basement?
Valuable things.
Well, you weren't storing, I don't know, cheese in the bottom. I don't think the Tantalvoid deals in dairy products.
And what makes you think that the cheese wasn't already gone when the fire started?
So what was the point? To kill Willard? To kill Lauren?
I didn't check.
I'm prepared to make your life miserable. You have fucked with the wrong person for too long.
Make an intimidation check.
With advantage? No. Okay. Fine.
Proposal denied.
Oh, fuck. 7.
7. I mean, you bear in and you give him a good look, but, you know, assessing the sort of situation that he's in, you get the sense that he determines that things can't get much worse than they are right now, and he doesn't seem to have much give to him.
We're not gonna get anything out of this.
What do you know about that fire?
Nothing.
What will it take for you to tell us what you know?
Well, you could let me go.
Okay, we're not letting
Why
you
would
go.
we do that?
You wanted to know.
If we let you go, you're not going to tell us what you know.
I'll send you a letter.
You'll send us a letter.
Do I sound like that?
favors, gentle void favors.
I'm not fucking with that.
I got the one from you.
Would you give it back to me?
I burned it up.
I'm so sorry. It didn't seem to last the full amount of time that it was supposed to.
Oops.
Orba? Can I
That
have a
just
word
pissed
with
me
you?
off. So can I walk over to him and just pour some of the wine on his face?
It's
like,
really
water
good
pour it
stuff
over?
there, Safira.
She pours it, he kind of sputters a little bit as the wine pours over his face.
This is useless.
Orba, can I talk to you for a minute?
Orba scurries
You
over.
guys make sort of a little side conversation.
You said you don't want anybody to know, but I need this information. I wouldn't have risked your friends' lives unless it was important.
Okay.
What can I do that makes it easy to protect you,
Let me see.
so people don't know that this happens?
Hold on.
We didn't hear the previous conversation either. We don't hear this, and we didn't.
Which conversation?
Because she told her she could.
Yeah, I think she told her privately. I don't think you heard that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Question about charmed person. Is he only charmed to me? Like he still regards them as enemies?
Yes,
but
regards
not me?
you, I believe. That's how it's worded, yes.
Yes,
Regards
I
you,
think so.
Yes.
It regards me as a friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
The only way I'd be able to get any information out of him is if I questioned him. So my friends will find out anyways.
Are you comfortable with that?
I trust him. The one I don't trust isn't here, so that's okay.
Well, aren't we lucky
who?
then?
He's not present. Yes.
Then tell your friends, and let's tell it away from Carradine.
Okay.
I don't know how this stuff works, but
It doesn't. I don't think it matters.
well, let's
but-
not risk it though.
Okay, but you're going to have to feed me questions.
I can do that.
Okay.
We all have questions. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's prioritize yours.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, Orba just ignores her friends. She's shy and just goes up to Carradine and casts Charm Person on him.
Great.
So he makes a Wisdom saving throw.
Against your spell save, DC.
Yes. Which is... It's not great. It's 13.
So you cast the spell, and you see a little bit of glazing over of the eyes as he kind of goes into almost a semi-unconsciousness, and then he snaps out of it and looks back at you.
What did you?
Nice try.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Can I?
Is there anything you'd want in return for any information?
Sure. My freedom.
Freedom from the void or the freedom from us?
From you.
We're prepared to give you that.
Are we?
If you tell us what we need to know, you can go freely.
Is that really a brilliant idea? Considering really,
I
we're just gonna
honestly-
let him go.
I honestly might agree with Safira here. We've just killed 2 gentle void
That
men.
he witnessed us doing. I'm not particularly keen on letting him out.
You can leave town. This isn't your place. I'm the only one who's going to bear responsibility
By
for
the
this.
way, you helped murder them.
I know, and I stand by that decision. I would do it again.
It's a bit extrajudicial, but sure.
That was the whole point.
Fuck's sake.
And as you guys are having this, he's kind of
I
laughing a
sort
little
of feel
bit.
like he's not quite the rule follower. That you don't.
What's so fucking funny?
Seems you have a decision to make. Not everybody on the same page, Jaiwa.
Can Orba... Oh, God.
I was going to pull you aside.
Another little side conversation, just a rotating.
Is there any information on Carradine? Anything that you can threaten him with?
Everyone knows who he is and what he is.
What does he exactly mean to
He
them?
We
doesn't
could
seem,
wait until Pullman gets here, but
He doesn't seem afraid of death. He's not afraid of us. Is there anything he would be afraid of?
He's afraid of the void.
The void.
He's afraid of the
He's
void.
afraid of yes, he's not going to help us because he knows whatever they have coming to him is way worse than what we could do.
Can we?
So,
Can I, so I'm gonna kind of put down the bottle of wine. Can I pull a chair up so I'm like right across from it?
Sure. Yeah. Across the floor.
So, your friend Guy Lamar. What if we had a chat with him? Told him that you've been a little disobedient. What would happen to you then?
He'd probably kill me.
I thought you weren't afraid of death.
I don't want to die.
Good. And then can I take my sickle and just put it right on his throat?
Sure. Yeah. And you hold it up there.
You said you don't want to die. Well, then maybe you'll reconsider. Information.
On what?
And I'm kind of just gonna motion over to her like, what do you want to ask him?
Why would you have burned down Lauren's house?
When the gentle void calls, I answer.
What was hiding in the basement? Whether or not it was there when it left.
It was, and he leans in. Jeez.
You fucker.
And can I nick him?
You have...
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just kind of move it as he leans in and just nick him.
Make an attack roll.
Fucking sever something.
20.
20. I mean, you give a good nick, and the blood starts to pour from his neck, and his eyes go a little fuzzy. I mean, he's...
fucking kill him.
Well, I'm not just trying to kill him.
If you're-
But he's on the... I mean, you
Yes.
barely brought him
He had no
back
hit
from
points.
consciousness. So
Yeah,
he's still up at the moment, but he starts to get a little...
That feeling you're having now, that's what it feels like when you're about to die. So choose your next words very carefully.
He doesn't care.
I think he does.
And he waits for you to say something.
Next
What was
question.
in the basement?
Papers.
What kind of papers? Please do elaborate and be very careful.
Geed keeps records.
Records of what?
Correspondence.
Correspondence between whom?
Between the farmer and the dairy worker and the cheese trader.
I might not kill you so swiftly with this sickle. I can make your death very long and very painful. I assure you I would enjoy doing it.
And he looks over to the others.
You letting this happen?
I like her a lot.
Will you just tell us?
No.
Orba goes up and casts Charm Person one more time because she's getting really uncomfortable.
Sure, go ahead.
This sucks.
Oh, yeah, he makes
Yeah.
the save.
Yeah.
14.
13.
Shit.
I think. Yeah, 13.
And he sort of bobs in and out again, and his eyes open again.
Keep trying.
Orba turns around and leaves the house. She's leaving. She's gone.
And as you
Orba.
exit, as Orba exits
Orba.
out the house, and you've exited out the door, standing there like mid about to
God.
knock is the man that she spoke to send a message to Polnick, and he's sort of, oh,
Vance.
you don't see it, she's outside.
She sees it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I received word that Polnick's holed up at Chupa Hall. He's not gonna come at the moment.
Okay. I will tell.
Could you tell Jaiwa for me,
Yep.
please?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks. Do I pay you?
No,
Oh.
Jaiwa's a friend.
Oh, okay.
Give a kiss.
Thank you. I'll tell her.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye. And I shut the door.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you out? Is she still outside? Or she come back in?
Who?
I'm gonna
Orba? Or did you come back inside?
Yeah, I'm turning around
Okay.
real quick. God. Orba goes up to Jaiwa and whispers in her ear that Polnick's stuck, and then again turns around and leaves.
Slam. Door closes behind.
Can I go up and talk to him without them hearing? Or no?
Carity?
Oh my god.
You can ask them to let
ask
you
us
be
to
alone.
leave.
No, don't leave. Just give me a moment. And I go up to him.
I'll kind of remove the sickle and kind of get up from the chair. What I was doing wasn't working, so
That's what's there.
take the one.
What is your agenda with the gentle void?
And he laughs at you.
I know, Gate Lamar.
Then you know that I'm much safer here than I am there.
I don't really like him either. He not kind to you?
I don't care if he's kind to me.
Then why do you work for them?
I don't want to tell you.
What do you want from us if we could give you something?
You get the sense that he's not going to talk. So if you guys have a different thing, you can try it. But just talking to him he's not budging. Just so we sort of move past.
I say we knock him unconscious. One more
I
time.
mean, he's probably going to die
Fine.
of his wounds.
No. We can't kill him. We've gone to all this trouble to keep him alive.
Fine. Knock him unconscious and heal him a little.
Hold on a moment. If we know that the Gentle Void's the one that started the fire, isn't that all we really need to know?
No.
What is there? They
Look,
have something bigger
Someone
at
can
work.
get information out of him. It's just not us. So we need to get him to whoever can get information out of him, because clearly he may have killed 2 innocent people, or 2 marginally innocent people, and
There were innocent people, Safira.
well, at least Lauren was, surely. But he
If we
may have
hand it-
killed more.
Can we hand him over to Polnick as a
I
prisoner?
don't want to hand him over to Polnick.
Why?
Then he dies.
Fine, we'll...
I'm not letting him go back to the Gentle Void.
Polnick's not coming. No, we shouldn't give him back to the Gentle Void. I said let's hold him here until we have a better idea. Fine, we have to go to Polnick. We have to leave him here. We can't take him in the street. It's too far away. We'll leave
Who's
him
gonna
here.
stay here with him?
He's going to die.
Then heal him.
Why?
Just a little.
But who is going to stay here with him?
No.
If we leave him here alone,
Or-
what is the point of that?
We're left.
He will give. There's nothing we can get from him.
We need the information.
It's
He's
not
our
about-
only chance.
Look, it's not even about what we can get from him. Clearly he's a dangerous man. Local law enforcement, if nothing else, should have a chance to question him.
You were the one that convinced me that him being taken care of and off the streets would be a net benefit for this city.
It will be, but we need
That's
information.
not our choice.
We're not going to get it.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave.
Sure.
I hate to be selfish about anything, not really, but I have other things that I need to attend to today, so if we're not going to get information and nobody has a plan, and this has nothing to do with me, what gives me motivation to stay here?
Beezaura, you're welcome to go. I appreciate it. All of you, you've helped me so far. You're all welcome to leave. He's my responsibility. Thank you for your time, and you can go.
Since we helped you with all this and came all this way and hurt this man and tried to get information and had one of our own injured, what are you supposed to do for us?
I told you I would clear it with Polnick for you, and I will.
Polnick has nothing to do with me.
Then what would you like from me, Beezaura?
Tell me what you know about a certain... What was his name? One moment. A Mr. Finbar Otto.
I don't know him.
You do know. You do know him. He's a fairly wealthy citizen.
I think
I know him. He's a fairly wealthy citizen. I don't
Sorry,
know
were
him.
you trying to lie?
I don't know him well, but I know him.
His stature?
Stature.
I mean, what do you want to ask her? Because she doesn't have the information.
I want to know how tough he is.
And do you want to tell
Is
her the
he
truth?
I would love to
human?
tell her.
Sure, so
Yeah.
you know
I've been
him.
an open book. I'll tell you whatever you
Yeah,
want.
I mean, he's not. You know that he's not a soldier, and he's a businessman. So he's, you know.
There's something I need from him.
And you're saying, can you fight it out of him?
Yes, I need to either
Yes.
extract the paperwork from him or get it myself and tear it to shreds.
Beezaura, you're a very capable fighter. If you're saying, can you beat Finbar in a fight, then yes. That's all you wanted. You could have asked me that when we were strolling over. I told you about my fucking ex-husband.
Well, I thought I could help you. Is that such a problem?
No, of course. I'm grateful. Now you all can...
One more thing.
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Safira, what you up to there?
Before. I'm waiting because I have something I want to say to her
Okay,
before
sure.
I leave.
Yeah, bizarre.
Is he a man easily swayed?
Can't be. He's a businessman.
He's a
willing
businessman.
to make a deal.
Yeah, he responds to people with money. Or people with force, I suppose, like all people will.
Not all.
Well, then I'm off.
Thank you for your time. I mean it. All of you.
You sent me an hour back, but it was no problem.
I'll see you around, maybe.
And Beezaura heads out.
And I'm gonna grab the wine because I'm gonna take it with me.
course,
And
it's
yours. I'm looking directly at her. I don't agree with what we did back there. You blasted in. You didn't even give them time to have a conversation. There was no investigation. There was no warrant for his arrest. What you did was wrong, and I'm mortified that I helped you with it.
I'm sorry, did you misunderstand what I said in the beginning? I needed a group of folks to help me
You needed
above
us
the
to
law.
intimidate him. You didn't need us to kill 2 people.
They're better off where they are.
Oh, they're better off dead.
Yeah.
I expect
And
that
my
you will
city,
write-
more importantly, is better off dead.
Well, I'm glad that you're the one who makes that decision because you're God. I expect that you will write a letter that will clear all of our names with Polnick.
I will. I gave you my word. I will.
You better follow through on that promise. So I'm just
Safira.
gonna look at her and just ignore the rest of what she says and walk out with the wine.
Jaiwa, you're left alone here in your home. Is there anything you'd like to do before we
With
I
the
would
guy.
just like to knock the shit out of him.
you give him up with your fist or
With I still have my axe, just like
You
with the
still have
back.
your axe, yeah.
I'm just gonna get him knocked out because I gotta go find.
you're gonna knock him out?
I'm gonna knock
Great.
him out. Yeah.
So he sees you sort of walking towards him, and you give him a look and just and he just black, and he goes out. And we'll head over to
God.
Orba and Graven, who left earlier. The two of you
Yeah.
were close to each other.
Oh, we were?
I mean, you're a little bit
He went
ahead
out
of
and
him.
I followed.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shortly after. So the two of you are ahead of the rest.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to catch up to her, you can, or
Yeah.
if you want, yeah.
When you said you had to go meet Erland, did you say where? Did you say Fable's Repose?
I think I kind of mumbled
so.
Fable's
Yeah, I
Repose,
believe
yeah.
so.
So I think if you were paying attention, you could have, yeah.
I'm walking to Fable's Repose.
I'll catch. Yeah, I can
I run
catch
up to
with
them.
you.
You guys are a little behind because you stayed to have a much longer conversation. So first of all, the two of you make your way there, and you notice the two of them making their way. You see them sort of coming far down the street.
Before Samuel's gotten there.
You have not seen Samuel in the time that you've been waiting here. You see the two of them quick, sort of walking with purpose at a quick pace down the road.
Because sorry, we all agreed. Who agreed to meet at 1?
I was just,
That was
so
your
Erland and I, when
Just
we were
the
in
two of
the
them.
carriage.
You agreed to
You
meet
guys
me
don't. You
at
guys don't
Fin
know
Bars.
about it.
Oh.
Well, I guess she just.
Well, I
said
said
it.
I had to meet him. I didn't
Okay.
say
But you didn't say who I was meeting or what.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So you're basically just following Orba,
Yeah.
who's headed to Fable's Repose. Yeah.
Orba's just a little
Sulking.
distant.
You see them coming. Do you say anything, or do you let them go in?
Kind of give him away.
Sure. You guys know.
I can
Orba,
tell
you're
that
in
it's
the
him
front.
and not just a shady guy in the alley. Like.
Orba's in front. Do you see? To make a perception check.
Oh, okay. It's a natural one.
Oh my god.
You see the wave. You can't tell who it is.
Do I see her kind of looking like
Yeah, she slows a
suspicious
little
of?
bit. Yeah, she slows.
Yeah,
Alright.
I slow down and just kind of peer for a moment.
How far away from me are they?
Probably 50 feet down the road.
50 feet?
Yeah.
Are there a bunch of people walking around?
I mean, yeah, it's busy. It's middle of the day. Very busy in this area. Lots of people moving. Carriages, people walking, carts.
Orba clears her throat a little bit and she says, Graven, do you see that man waving?
I'm
Yes.
gonna wave again. Looking this time at Graven.
Okay, so you're facing them.
Well, like, I'm gonna lift my head a little bit and make eye contact with Graven and wave.
Are you attempting for him to see who you are?
Yes.
Okay, you make a notice.
I was gonna say I take my mace out.
No, you.
Okay, I can
sort
tell.
of
I'm still
lift.
trying to like conceal myself, but I'm trying
That's
to make eye
okay. You stay
contact.
concealed enough,
All right.
but lift sort of the hood
All
a little
right,
bit. so you
and
can see his
I roll my giant orange eyes, and it's just Erland.
Okay.
I give him like a.
Oh god, can I stay out of trouble for maybe like half a day, please?
It's okay. I'm sorry about that, Orba. It's fine. It's almost. Honestly, it's probably better for us to stay together at this point. Let's see what he wants.
Grumpily walks over.
Hello. Good morning. How did you sleep?
Not well, thank you. The man inside, in Fable's Repose, may have recognized me. It seems that he has perhaps a wanted sheet of us.
Oh my goodness.
I suggest not going inside.
Well,
So if you could make yourself as equally invisible as I am at this particular moment, that would be lovely.
Do you attempt to huddle down there with him?
Yes, I do. Immediately.
Sure, yeah.
Not even
Kind
question.
of get
Checks for both of
in
you.
the shade or whatever.
And
The
then for one out of
shadows.
the way, yeah! What was it?
Stealth check.
Come on, Goliath.
17.
17.
God.
1.
Oh my god!
Of all people to get the
So
one.
Orba crouches down and makes herself decent. I mean, she sort of crouches down there with Erland and Graven. There isn't quite space for a third person, so he like kind of squats by the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I mean, no one has a reason right now to be looking for you, but if someone was looking for you, they'd be able to see
There's
you.
a Goliath squatting over there on the side of the road.
That squatting Goliath.
Better make this quick.
I was supposed to meet with Samuel Pregus here at 1 p.m.
Okay.
I was hoping to get a copy of Grimari's Giant Grimoire, and I said I would meet him here.
Why are you trying to get more copies of this book that you're so obsessed with?
Well, I just thought that it could be useful for reference. And I would like to not have to go into the library every time I want to look at our very important page.
Okay. And
We-
where? Yeah.
We have reason to believe that someone's going to convince Polnick that we aren't a threat. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen, but we still need to go meet with him.
Where have you been?
I may be able to get us out of Orange safely.
Were we not going to be able to get out of Orange Chupa safely?
With Polnick after us, but this Polnick... I assume that Polnick still wanted us.
But I have an outline. I was going to give it to... Oh, I forgot to give it to her.
I have no
I
idea.
finished it.
It's all right.
I
It's
didn't
o-
give
I
it.
know, it's okay.
What is happening?
It'll still be worthwhile that you made it.
Did you work very hard on something, Tiefling?
I did. It's very nice. I was very proud.
Well, I organized safe transit should we need it.
Okay.
I think we should go rescue Jillian.
I agree. At this very moment, or
Today at 3 p.m., yes.
what time is it now? It's like 1 o'clock now.
So we have some time. But I've organized us. Look, Polnick, I don't know what you've been doing, but Polnick, last I checked, was after us.
Mm-hmm.
Robert has expressed to me that he is no longer able to help us anymore. We're out of favors with Robert.
Why?
He's helped us a great deal, and
Does it have anything to do with Polnick or what happened at the tasting?
we've caused a lot of trouble since arriving in Orange Chupa.
Caused?
People think we have caused a lot of trouble in Orange Chupa.
That's
and
what my
all that
outline
matters.
is for.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Orba takes out a thing, a long paper, and
I'll
just,
read that at a moment when the Goliath is better hidden.
no one's going to read this, are they?
But the important piece of information is Robert can no longer help us.
Okay.
Polnick seems to be after us.
Yes.
I think we ought to leave Orange Chupa. I know that you, like I, would like to rescue Jillian. I also know that you want to go to Navikapura. And Robert and rescuing Jillian brings us rather close to Navikapura.
Orba gets really small and quiet and just doesn't say anything.
What about you? Okay.
You also, know the geography enough. It's headed in the right direction. It's not
nowhere
close.
near, yeah.
It's not close, but it
It's headed in the right direction. They're north. They're both north. Yes. So.
moves us closer to where you would like to go.
I don't know why I walked over to this man. I should have just gone to Polnick. I didn't miss you at all.
Oh, you're welcome for providing safe transit out of this hostile city.
And as this conversation is having now,
my
Beezaura has
God.
sort of wandered. Where were you headed after exiting Jaiwa's house?
I wanted to catch up with these two.
They,
They're
I mean,
supposed
you
to help
stuck
me.
around. I mean, they were a decent bit ahead of you.
Yeah. Hey, psst. I can see you standing there.
She can see. So you can see Graven crouched by the side.
You weren't hidden very well, big man.
Am I kind of coming up behind them?
Yeah, a
Like,
little
as
bit
I was
behind.
heading
Yeah.
towards this,
But first we'll see just as Beezaura sort of catches up. And as you get closer, now you can see that Graven's talking to 2 other people.
I see.
Hello, Halfling.
Erland, how nice of you to join us today.
We were just speaking rather candidly. Still no precus.
About?
So, I believe I've arranged us safe travel out of Oranjuba. Given that we are, at the moment, it seems, still wanted by Polnick, and this is new information for you, it is now too risky for Robert to help us, so we're running low on allies in Oranjuba. So I think we should get out of here as quickly as possible, and I've organized safe transit for 3 p.m.
How did you organize it?
This is the last favor that Robert will provide us.
Thing is,
Does Robert think we should leave the city immediately?
Yes.
And Safira has come up at this point, noticing Graven and
And I have the
Beezaura.
wine. I'm kind of bloody.
he thinks
Oh,
we
great.
all should leave.
Yes.
Even me.
I think there is safety in numbers.
Well, I think I have things I need to do.
I can get you a chess piece if you come with me.
How?
I'll need some sort of assurance that you'll come with me, and I'll tell you how.
Well, then I have a very limited amount of time to do a deed to get another chess piece plus money.
I leave that up to you, but if you come with me, there's a chess piece in it for you.
I have 2 hours.
We have...
2 hours?
Yes. Is...
Am I here? Am I
Yeah,
just
if you've
walking
come up
into
at
this
this point,
conversation?
yeah, you're walking in this conversation. And if you want to relay the same basic
Where'd you
information,
fuck off to?
Yes, rehashing the same story.
you take a second to tell her
Yeah,
the details
yeah,
of what we
yeah,
have.
I would like a safe travel 3 p.m. out of Orange.
Are you 2 still willing to help me get what I need to get a chess piece, to get money that could help us when we leave Oranjuba?
Help us or help you?
If I have money, I'll share it. Have I ever been stealthy like that? No. Not stealthy.
Fuck's sake. How did this
Greedy.
all go?
Greedy. They agreed last night to meet me at his house at 12 p.m. It is now 1 p.m. after we went off with that stupid woman.
Well then, it seems like... I have several questions, but at the moment, it seems like you perhaps should get going to complete whatever it is you need to complete and meet us at the stables at 3 p.m.
That is what I'm saying.
We're going to
Is
rescue
anyone
you.
still willing to back me up if I need assistance?
Oh, fuck. No, I'm not. Who else is going to do it?
I didn't ask you in the first place.
Look at me! I'm a mess!
Okay. If it's a no, just let me know.
It's not a...
I have something to attend to prior to I have something to attend to confirm safe travel, so I unfortunately can't help you.
Fine. Goliath, yes or no?
What happened to our plan of going to Polnick? This is...
I don't think it's possible.
If you're leaving,
Look,
then
I
what's the big
told-
deal about Conan?
We can
I
never
told
come back to
Jaiwa.
the city.
We can come back to the city if our names are cleared. If the investigation continues and they find out it was not us, because all the crimes seem like it was not us.
Look.
Once the investigation is complete, we can come back to Oranjuba, but I suggest we leave today.
I told Jaiwa that she was
If Jaiwa,
bound to clear our names, and I'm hoping that she has enough sway to do so.
if she's true to her word, then she'll at least try.
I can see why we've been at every disastrous thing, that we've been there. Anytime anything terrible has happened, we've been there basically holding
I'm
the knife,
sorry.
for sure.
Orba.
To bust in. Is it a yes or a no? Because I need to go.
3 p.m. at the stables.
I'm aware, Erland.
Go.
I'm asking them.
She's asking for one of us to come with here. At this point, it's myself or Orba.
I, unfortunately,
I know you
need the
cannot.
Goliath.
What?
Oh, God.
Robert asked something of the Goliath in order to complete safe travel. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I don't know enough about him. I
Why
didn't
would
know
you make
enough
a
about
promise
him.
like that?
Orba? Yes or no?
Stop yelling at me, please.
I'm trying not to yell, but I
Orba.
need to get myself moving.
Graven, I don't want to leave you with this man.
It's okay.
I'm
don't
currently
have to.
trying to rescue us. I'd like to remind
It's not.
everyone.
Look,
Stay with me.
It's your choice.
I don't want to leave you in trouble.
no, Graven, I'll be fine. I'm not useless. I can. What do you think's gonna happen?
Are you going with him?
Yeah, I'll be with the two of them. Yeah.
Why don't you go with her?
Stop
No.
telling me what to do.
No,
I'm
I'm talking to
injured.
Safira.
I'm bloodied.
You go with him and you keep an eye on him from him, and I'll go with you and help you.
Thank you.
But I don't like any of you right now. And she walks away.
Orba.
To where? Where are you
I
at?
don't know.
What?
Your
We're
list.
going.
Give it to me. I'll send it to Polnick, and hopefully that, along with Yahweh.
Jaiwa.
Yahweh.
Not even close. I'm so sorry.
Yahweh.
Jaiwa. That, along with Jaiwa's
You already
promise.
forgot.
Yeah, I did. Along with Jaiwa's promise, should help us.
You're going to give him my hard work?
Yes.
I'll make sure that he does. You've done a very good job, Orba. Thank you.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
fold it up neatly.
And can I take it in kind of a very protective way, or are you gonna give it directly?
Yeah, you can give it to me.
Sorry, she doesn't trust me. Okay.
And if there's any mistakes, just fix it, please.
Don't worry.
Oh, I stole that woman's quill. Oh no, now I'm a thief. Wait, I stole
Orba,
her quill.
Orba.
It's
Orba.
fine. She wasn't that nice.
It's
Might
fine.
I remind
Not
you you're
her.
wanted
Oh,
for
not
arson
her.
at the moment.
Well, it was an arson that she didn't commit, to be fair.
So are you two going together then?
Yes.
3 p.m. at the stables.
I know.
Do you guys start to move?
Yes. Orba,
Yes, I'm coming. Just
thank you.
thank you.
And the two of you begin to move in the direction of Otto's, which you've been to before, so you
Yeah.
moved away. Start to head in that direction.
This way.
Okay, I wave at Graven goodbye.
You start to move.
Safira.
We have a moment with Graven, Safira, and Erland here.
I hate to split us up further, but is there any chance you'd want to wait for Precus here?
She just promised.
I'm gonna
Orba.
kind of look down at myself, like I'm carrying. This must look a little bit sus, right? Like I'm like bloody and
You have injuries, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
If I gave her
I'm just
a
asking-
much nicer article of clothing, would that cover the injuries?
you could put it over. Yeah, because right now at least the cloth parts have been torn a little bit.
I'm trying to decide if it's if it's very strange for me to be standing outside this fancy
Yeah, a little bit. If you covered it with something, you could conceal it decently because they're not on it's not on your face or your hands or anything. It's chest. So if you covered it with something, you could cover up the wounds.
I'm gonna take out of my bag the very fancy Kira mainland attire I had from
The nice blue
the nice
robe
blue
that you
robe I
yeah.
had from the tasting and hold it out to you.
You want me to wait for Precus?
I want you to wait for Precus and meet us in the stables at 3. Try and get the book before we leave.
Okay. And so I'll take it and put it on.
Sure,
and
you
can
slip
I
it
kind
over.
of slip the bottle of wine in my backpack?
Yeah, you've got a satchel with you.
Motherfucker's in half the episode, and he is running the show right now. He is running the show. Anyway, I'm sorry. Where are we? What's going on?
Friend, shall we?
Where are we going?
Back to the Sungnong district, I believe.
For what? What does Robert want?
I'll explain on the way. Let's go.
And you start to move. Do you follow him?
No, I was standing there.
Okay.
What does he want?
All right. He wants collateral for transit.
Of what
And I
sort?
believe that you and I can acquire it.
What is it?
I don't know. Robert wouldn't give me more information.
So we're going to meet him right now.
Yes.
Fine. Let's go.
So we start walking, and I'm going to lead him to the lightest stitch.
Clothing store.
No, sorry, not the lightest stitch. The,
Touch and go.
Sure. Thank you. My God.
You guys start to move.
on the way there.
Dude.
Now that we're walking together,
Yep.
and we're fairly close. So like maybe a minute or two away from.
Sure. It's not
Graven.
far. It takes you less than 10 minutes to get close to it.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. Hopefully. Robert needs collateral for a wagon. All right. Follow so far. We need a wagon in order to I explained that we're rescuing Jillian, yes.
Yes.
Yes, so we need a wagon in order to make time and get to intercept her from the barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
Robert's going to provide us with a wagon that we can obviously not afford. So we need to leave him collateral. The collateral we need to leave Robert, I believe, is in the hands of Michael Ainsley, the healer from Touch and Go.
You don't know what it is, but you believe Michael has it.
It's one of the chess pieces that Beezaura wants.
And so you're not going to give it to Beezaura, you're going to give it to Robert.
I will eventually give it to Beezaura, but Robert needs it as collateral until we can pay him. Once we pay him, we get the chess piece back. Do you follow?
Wow.
What?
You and I
don't know what filthy web you have woven
This is not.
in the last 24 hours.
I'm getting us out of this town safely.
That sounds fantastic.
Would you like to leave this town safely?
Yes,
Excellent. We need a chess piece.
Michael has one.
Michael has one.
What does Michael want?
That
Pray tell.
I legitimately don't know. He wants to study you. I will leave the room.
Study
He
me.
wants to study you. I
don't
will leave
know
the
if he
room
wants to
so
study.
that you get whatever privacy you need, and then he will give us a chess piece. This will only take half an hour to an hour. And then we leave safely, Goliath. I'm not interested in rotting in a jail cell.
But you're interested in lying to me over and over.
I technically, yes, I did in fact
Wow.
lie about beating Robert Bastille. That I did lie
Wow.
about. However, I knew that you wouldn't come with me if I didn't in that particular moment, but trust me, I had your best interest in mind. You're very cagey about your past, friend. Which is why I will leave the room.
Michael wants to study me.
Michael wants to study you for the betterment of the population. I swear to you, I do not know why he cares. 45 minutes and we leave safely, and I'll be waiting on the ground floor, safely away.
I'm going to go to talk to Michael without you right
That's
now.
fine. He is extremely touchy about the chess piece, given its nefarious insinuations. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
I'll be. There's a bench outside. Or,
Yeah, there's
or
benches
is there a bench
around.
inside that I could, so that I'm not seen to people walking past on the ground floor.
On the ground floor is not open to the public. You go up the stairs.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a waiting room, but it's inside like the healer hut. You'd be in there.
Do you mind if I wait in the waiting room, or would you prefer for me to be outside?
Just go outside.
I'm gonna find a place where I can.
Sure, yeah. And you're in Songonan, which is busy. It's a market district,
Right.
so it's not. Nobody's looking specifically. And do you go in?
I go in.
And Graven, steps seem the familiar steps that you've gone up once before.
Old friends.
Up
yeah.
to Touch and Go and Michael Ainsley, and that's where we're gonna cap it this evening. We ran a little over. Deirdre, thank you so much for joining us. Deirdre.
I'm so sorry we talked so much shit about you afterwards.
It started so
Yeah, we were so friendly.
amiable,
So I'm
and
sorry.
it just evolved. Thank you so much. We'll definitely have
Yes.
you back. I hope you had a good time.
It was so fun.
Oh, yay.
Thank you for joining us.
Yay! Thanks, everyone.
That was chapter 10. We'll be back for chapter 11 on August 11th.
Ooh.
11/11.
Make a wish.
Great. We'll see everybody then. Thank you so much. Good night, guys.
Bye. I am going.
Bye.